opportunity that we can't pass on.
Good morning and welcome, folks. Day 6 here at Palmy Arena. It is the final day here, and I hope you're getting into your breakfast wherever you might be around the motu. And guess what? You can enjoy some live basketball brought to you by Whakata Māori. Up next, we have Hillmorton High versus St. Pat's, followed by Tauranga Girls versus St. Kentigern College. So stay tuned in for this one. It's going to be a couple of big games early.
No mai, haere mai, welcome to Te Papaioa, Palmerston North. It is grand final day, and what a day we have in store for you. Ryan Dulldam here alongside Greg Elliott. We kick things off with a 17th and 18th game, but much more bigger things on the line as the day progresses. What are you looking forward to the most, Greg?
Oh, I can't believe it. The 6 days, that we get to spend here in the your beautiful Palmerston. You've been an absolute amazing host, Double Deezy, and it's finals time. We've got Westlake girls going for the 4-peat. We've got Shirley boys. It's their first time make it to the final. 4th place is the best they've done. So, yeah, right throughout the day we've got some amazing games. This one here should be a good one too. Now, I know we're going to go through some team lists. I'll run us through St. Pat's. So, we have Elijah Tia, Moana Rangi Hayata, Marwin Abdul Rahman, Luis Anderson, Jade Moriohuhu, Darius Latu, Jericho Reginaldo, Savion Polyblank, Ruben Liotta, Xander Leilua, Jack Single, and Sam Jenkins. Head coach Brendan Polyblank, assisted by George Liafa and manager Carolyn Polyblank.
And for Hillmorton High, we'll get their team list up shortly. Here we go. Nope, sorry, that's St. Pat's Town. We've got Toby Langrell, Kobe Harrison, Finn Langrell, Fraser Ferguson, Lewis Dowell, Hudson Major, Joshua Finlater, Benjamin Habinshuti, Arthur Cole, Hong Lee, Levi Vincent, coached by David Langrell. This is a rematch from pool play, and Hillmorton High got up pretty convincingly over St. Pat's College of Kilburnley, usually known as St. Pat's Town, to differentiate between Silverstream. They won the game 118-85, and obviously, coming into this tournament, I'm sure they had high hopes. As we catch our referees on screen, we've got Alexander Spur and Thomas Studholm, who will be in charge of today's fixture.
It's quite a good one to see, though. Right, is sometimes if you do obviously drop a game in the tournament, the chance to usually get a clapback or, something along those lines, it doesn't often happen. So, this is a real chance for Hillmorton to, maybe return serve.
Yeah, I can attest that playing on the show court at 8:30 a.m. at the end of a tournament is a difficult proposition. It's been a long week for both teams. Neither are probably playing for what they want to play for. And the show court being a single court, you kind of don't have the noise or the energy palpitating from the other courts. So it'll be interesting, how can these coaches, Coach Langrell and Coach Polyblank, get their troops fired up to, hey, we want to finish the tournament on a high. Whoever wins this game will have won 3 in a row as they go through the quarterfinal, semi-final and final for their respective classifications.
Quite experienced men at the helm as well, with both Coach Dave Langrell and Brendan Polyblank. Quite the family affair as well for both teams, with Brendan Polyblank, Carolyn Polyblank, and then also obviously Savion Polyblank in the St. Pat's town. And then with Hillmorton, you've got obviously Toby Langrell, Finn Langrell, and then, yeah, the head coach, as I mentioned, Dave Langrell. So, yeah, I always like to see those ones, Ryan, with a bit of a family flavour to the mix.
Yeah, we'll get things underway here shortly. Hillmorton, or Hurumaka, in the white, and St. Pat's Town in the blue. St. Pat's Town, strong basketball tradition, particularly of the 2010s. I do recall Brooke Rusco being shouted out yesterday as they won back-to-back titles in the early noughts. As a nice, well, a strong drive by St. Pat's Town, just twice off the tupper, and the defensive two-up is controlled by Hillmorton as Langrell brings the ball up.
That was something we discussed before the game, Ryan. Are we going to see both of these teams at full sort of strength, full, the mana level's high, and it looks like they actually, looks like we're going to see a good game. Both teams looking to attack early in this one.
Yeah, it's a real tough one, because if you don't achieve those goals, then it's kind of like, well, what do we want? But it's always good to finish on a high, and both these two teams are coming off on last two games, 2 wins each to get to the 17th-18th playoff, and I'm unsure of how many return for each team as we see the first bucket by Corey Harrison. I do know that St. Pat's Town is rather young, so they'll be looking to continue to build. If we can finish 17th this year, what could next year be in store for us? There's a travelling violation from Jade Muri Uhuhu.
You're so right. It is one of those ones where, hey, yeah, you might not be where you wanted to be at the end of this tournament, but some of these teams having some real young, upcoming talent. And so, yeah, I cannot wait for them to, sort of almost be a team that you might even just pencil in now to be here next year.
Oh, I know too well not to assume anything.
I don't want to talk about that.
As Palmy boys had high hopes on a good placing at Nationals, but then failed to take care of business. But, these young teams, as Hillmorton gets his second bucket to go this time, Hub and Shuti, they'll certainly be looking to, take all the experiences from this week and carry them over to next season. As the first bucket by St. Pat's Town, Darius Latu, and one. Head to the line for a Kuruto Tuku.
And the Hara, we'll see a replay. Nice pass. It's not the easiest pass to make, throwing it over, and also at pace as well. You can't just sort of loft it up, or else it's going to get the defense to recover. So, nice pass.
Yeah, off a double drag screen with an empty side, so the rollers rolling to space, and the offensive two-upper two times in a row for St. Pat's Town. I think it's 4 for the game already, so it's something Hillmorton will have to clean up.
Yeah, Latu there on, as you see, the two-upper. He's been busy so far early in this one.
Nice baseline drive. Dowell pushes the lead out to 6-2 for Hillmorton.
You're right, I'm really enjoying the St. Pat's. The uniform, it's a nice strip.
As Murio Oho gets the layup to go.
And when I hear that name, Morihuhu, I think Isaiah Leafa. We also got Trey Morihuhu.
I dare say they're related without assuming anything.
Yeah.
And certainly at regionals, George Leafa was on the bench assisting Coach Polyblank, who's not there today. As good defense there by St. Pat's Town. Forces a off-balance, fading away 3 by Lewis Dowell, and nothing but fresh Palmerston North mighty Manawatu air.
Oh, and she is crisp, getting up early for this one. Yourself not obviously needing any more beauty sleep, Ryan. You would have been up, fresh, thriving.
7 a.m, baby. You know how it is.
Oh, as we see,
Back
bodies on the
screen,
floor.
almost a flex action. Nice looking offense, just short off the tupper. And we might see a bit of that today. You know, fatigue for all these teams playing 7, 8, 9 games. Just perhaps those koroto tokus just a little bit short. As the push-ups, good by Elder Rahman.
Yeah, definitely speaking to a few coaches and they're saying, yeah, their boys and girls are pretty worn out, even though they're very young and bounce back from, you know, a lot of wear and tear. It still takes a toll on the body.
As Latu, the lefty lay. Matt Tahuna, long-time Wellington Saint, Manawatu Jet, is my assistant coach at Palmy Boys, and he actually won this title with Hutt Valley High School, as the koroto tuku is in and out of the tapa back in the day. And he mentioned to the boys many a times that this tournament is the hardest to win. And we probably see that, but just the length, the pure length of the tournament, being able to stay healthy and fresh for the entire week as we catch the replay of Dowell's drive.
Some of these teams as well, Ryan, not only is it the 6 days of play here in Palmy, but some of these teams not coming from just, you know, down the road, or, you know, they're coming from all over the motu. And yeah, I've seen a lot of the waka that they've been using to make their way here. And yeah, even that's quite a long and arduous journey at times. That adds to some sore bodies. I can confirm that.
Speaking of the waka that is here, is Dowell misses his first koroto tuku. A chance here to split the pair. And unlucky off the tapa. Columba College, Otupotu Dunedin. Unless they've stuck a magnetic sticker on a hired van, I think they've driven up. And that is a serious journey.
Oh, yeah.
As their offensive two-up is kicked out for a koroto tuku.
I love that you mentioned my sister school in Columba. My school will probably never be here for like a long time. So, yeah, Columba doing their Otipoti proud.
Latu, a lot of O-boards here early. Maybe that fatigue is just hurting the habits on the defensive two-uppers as St. Pat's up.
I love Darius Latu's input so far. High energy player. Looks like he can go for the agreement. Maybe a double-double machine, Ryan?
Possibly. No stats for this game, ladies and gentlemen, but could keep an unofficial track as Polyblank pulls himself out of some traffic. Strong drive down the lane. Probably a little bit too easy there as Polyblank gets himself onto the score sheet. Remembering Hill Morton got up in pool play 111-85. So a pretty convincing win. Not only will St. Pat's Town want to finish on a high with 3 wins straight, they'll want a little bit of a revenge.
After not seeing the game ourselves, obviously, Ryan, it'd be interesting to see the replay here. But was that game close, and then, you know, did they pull away, or, you know, was it a bit of a blowout early? So what we're seeing so far is a very tightly contested matchup.
As Dowell makes no issue about this, koroto tuku, as we see Polyblank take the seat, and perhaps our numbers are incorrect. Polyblank is certainly number 12, which may mean on our sheet Ruben Leota is number 11. So apologies, Whānau, if you're listening at home, and we've got the number 11 for Town, and we say his name incorrectly.
Not the 8:30 stitch-up, right?
Anderson, Leota, Latu, strong power move. Just not enough height in there from Hill Morton to affect that shot, and Latu, perhaps his 6th bucket in the paint. The paint warrior early on. Langrel to Finlater, back to Langrel, left off the tapa.
Rangi Hayata, he is a big boy, great basketball build in the 5 singlet. St. Pat's.
Back-to-back buckets for number 11 of St. Pat's Town.
Have you got anyone in the area, Ryan, that you can pull a SOS to and confirm who it is in the 11 singlet?
Oh, I'm not sure, actually. As we see the return of Jade Muri-Hoho for the aforementioned number 11, and we'll take a timeout. Hill Morton with the first timeout. Just, I guess for Hill Morton, you know, energy's a little bit low. Sometimes it takes a little while to build into these 8:30 a.m. games, the earlier start of the week here on the final day, and you probably don't want that lead to get too high. So Coach Langrell, timeout.
Yeah, even at this early hour of the morning, you know, even on day 6 for us commentators, you know, the alarm went off sort of 7:30. You know, I noticed, you know, the back's a bit sore, the voice is feeling it a bit, so I can only imagine what these young men feel like after 6 days of intense play. So, yeah, interesting battle we've seen so far. A Waiheke called, I think timely, just to go chat things over. Who's really stood out for you so far? I know it's early days, but you know, we've had a few players stamp their mark early.
I know for St. Pat's Town, because we've played them at regionals, they actually knocked us out. Not saying anything there.
Oh, man.
I know Muri-Hoho, very talented. Certainly this game so far, Latu's asserted his dominance in the paint. Those would be the two keys for me going forward for St. Pat's Town, or St. Pat's College of Kilburnie, over by the airport in Te Whanganui-a-Tara. I don't know a lot about Hill Morton, other than the Langrels have some good basketball pedigree, as that press was broken far too easily, and then just a soft hutter committed by Hudson Major.
Rangi Hayata, the recipient or the beneficiary of a nice little dime. I think he's just, the way he's built, as I was alluding to earlier, you know, he took some contact there and just, it looked like he finished right through it at relative ease, right?
Yeah, I mean, from a Hill Morton perspective, if you're going to foul, you can't let him get the N1. And if you do get the N1, you probably want to get the defensive two-upper off a free throw. A little bit of a coach killer there, as we see multiple second chance opportunities for St. Pat's Town.
So good to have you along with us for this one, Ryan. Surprise bonus almost getting to have you with us. Absolute privilege. Always enjoy being with you, calling this you basketball savant.
I'm not sure I'll go that far.
One of the top coaches,
there's a reason why I'm commentating and not coaching. Has Hill Morton defend that baseline out of bounds well. Couple of subs in. There's a strong baseline drive. The hoop and the harm. Hong Lee, the lefty lay. And the height returns for Hill Morton. Hurunmaka.
That's exactly what they needed. Hong Lee just looks like he played the whole quarter so far. He just caught that and attacked the tupper.
I think that's what Hill Morton needs. Like, that was like no thinking about the decision. I strong rip, yes, space, and good luck if you can meet me at the rim.
When you hesitate, sometimes you just lose that first step that you could have had. So yeah, it's got to play sort of unconscious basketball most of the times.
And sometimes you might find, because of the fatigue at the end of these tournaments, that decision making is another strong drive. Good offense here by St. Pat's Town. Multiple triggers there as Anderson gets the layup.
I thought I was back in Otago there for a minute over at the Peninsula, because it was an amazing seal from Darius Latu.
The puns are still strong here on grand final morning. As we have a Hutter committed, probably a little unlucky there by Hill Morton. Darius Latu ends up on the ground, and we see Hubin Shuti return for Hill Morton, as well as Levi Vincent. Coach Langrell getting through the subs pretty frequently, trying to keep his players fresh.
Nothing worse being a big man and the ball being passed at your feet, is there, right?
We had a rule at Palmy Boys this year is not to pass it to our centre on the break unless he was under the hoop, because usually if he had to dribble, as we see the tough shot by Alder-Rahman drop, usually bad things happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something that I've seen on this tournament. Something I'll take away from it is usually like the centre is the one that's sort of not really allowed to touch the ball, but we've seen the likes of a Jake Holmes and co. You know, these guys are playing point guard at that centre position.
Yeah, nice turnaround jumper by Kuru Hazen. Yeah, I think that's just the evolution of the game, right? Gone are the days of your slow 6'10", 7-foot centre. Everyone can do a little bit of everything, and depending on your skill set is what coach will allow the players to get away with.
Almost becoming a bit positionless at times, which is at yesteryear from these tournaments. I think, as you just said, like if you saw your centre putting the ball on the floor, that's an immediate sub.
Subs in for St. Pat's Town. We see the first minutes for number 10, Reginaldo. Oh, strong pass, just off the hands for Hill Morton. Anderson losing it in traffic. Straight back to Hill Morton.
Yeah, Habinshuti offset, but managed to track back and get the ball back for his team.
Habinshuti drawing a crowd, looking for his teammates now, stuck in the paint. Long time in the paint. Whoa. Unlucky there, St. Pat's Town, not to get a 3-second violation. Harder committed. Newest man on the court, Reginaldo, as we see that nice little cut, and then we'll get a hand in the cookie jar.
What a sea of defenders. They came out of nowhere. Panic stations almost. However, as you said, the Harder committed. And he was in a bad place.
Stagger screens off the baseline out. Pull up. Midi. Friendly roll off the top. Levi Vincent.
The Ringa Kuru shooter's roll. Quite an entertaining first quarter with 30 seconds remaining in this one.
Murioho follows his own offensive two-upper and will end up at the free throw line. As we got a little bit of a tangle underneath. 2 shots.
Yeah, a bit of basketball twister there. Boys getting tangled up.
Darrell enters the game for Cole for Hurumaka, Hill Morton High.
Is that Moriohuhu rocking the Aunt Pearls?
I think
KDs?
so, yes.
Always been a big fan of those. I've got size 14 feet though, Ryan. So every time I go to buy, there's always those sneakerheads that have just been like reloading their computer screen until like when that drop happens, and I come in sort of an hour later and have a whinge and a cry about, oh, why are they all sold out?
Yeah, real tough for you guys with size 14 feet. Everyone getting those shoes first. Can't really relate, but
it feels good to get it off my chest, man.
a little bit of pressure there. Just chewing up some of the shot clock. 15 seconds before the Morton can get into the offense is Dowell. Tough drive. Better defended. Last 5 seconds here. Another O-board. Story of the first quarter, I'd say. Both teams just relentless on the offensive glass as time expires. St. Pat's Town, 24. Hill Morton High School, 20. Your thoughts, Mr. Elliott?
Well, I mean, it's something we've talked about. Is coming in at 8:30 on a Saturday morning to play, you know, the 17th, 18th playoff game. Is it going to be one of those snooze fests, or is it we're going to see some action? And I'm so happy it is the latter. Great first quarter, 24-20. Just something I wanted to ask you as the coach that you are, Ryan, just that last possession, Habinshuti getting his own offensive two-upper from his missed shot and then scoring. As a coach for St. Pat's, how would that make you feel?
I mean, as a coach, you're never going to coach a perfect game. And sometimes I tell my players, we're never going to win 200-0 because we're going to make every shot and either rebound everything. But I guess just the way, you know, you want to be the second to jump to contest the shot, and so you're in rebounding position. So it's whoever got beat off the dribble, whoever's rotation it was, just to be there. And I think that's the story of the first quarter. Both teams just relentless on the glass. The first team that can start securing some defensive two-uppers will probably build a sizable lead, push it out to double digits. What we can acknowledge is both coaches getting deeper into the bench, making sure everyone gets a run on the last days, short, sharp bursts to ensure that the legs are fresh.
Good to see, you know, there are some bottoms on seats here early here for this one. You know, they might have gone out to one of your cafes that you've recommended. Ryan got a nice hearty breakfast and then come down and wanted to get prime seats for today's action because, whoo-wee, are we in for a treat today?
Yeah, plenty of good basketball here on the show court here at Palmy Arena. 5 games back to back to back to back to back.
So thankful to have Whakata Māori on board that can beam this through to wherever you are throughout the motu and just, you know, if you're waking up and just taking in today's action, 24-20. Oh, there they are, the Aunt Pearls. I'll see if he will take 100 for them after the game.
And all that action culminates in, well, 2 grand finals. First, Westlake, the 4-peat, can Hamilton Girls play spoiler as Hamilton all the way just misses the bunny, and another offensive two-upper resulting in a couple of kurato tukus after the hara.
Just quickly, whilst we've got a break in play, can I get a prediction from you, Ryan, just as we get the replay?
For the girls' final, Hamilton girls are going to have to play a lot better than they did yesterday to put the pressure on Westlake. However, we saw Tauranga give Westlake a really good run for their money, and if they could have probably just rebounded a bit better and detrans a bit better, they would have had a chance. So it's there for the Hamilton girls to, you know, get the upset.
Yeah, it was nice calling that game and then coming to pick your brain at halftime. Gave me some great insight. And with the boys' side of things, Shirley, Christ and all Christchurch affair.
Yeah, well, it'll be the 4th time they've met all year. Christchurch getting the first before Shirley took out the title in the Christchurch High School comp, as well as the Zone 4 final. So it should be the teams are going to know each other, which is sometimes the best thing. And hopefully an entertaining affair.
It's a pretty easy scout, isn't it, when you're doing the crosstown rivals? I got a message from a good friend of mine, Maddie Mansfield, away from Christchurch today. She said, yeah, that Shirley have had the wood over Christ in their regional competition. So, yeah, a real chance here for maybe Christ to get one back.
Oh, great defence there by St. Pat's, both to get the deflection to force the sideline out. And then the out of bounds pass, and the pass should actually go because it was never touched in court. It should be back here on the sideline. That's a great. Just quickly on the boys' grand final, be a flip of a coin for me. It's very hard to tell who's going to come out and probably perhaps shoot the best or not get into foul trouble.
I need a name.
You need a name?
I need to put you on the spot, brother. There's always the fence. The fence is too comfortable.
As the referees get together like they have all week and find the correct decision, I'd have to go Shirley boys. Yeah. If you made me pick, go Shirley boys, but it's going to be close and it's going to be an epic game. We saw
just when you touched on the referees there, we saw a great interaction last night with Amy, Joe and Elijah, our 2 referees, that there was a technical foul called and it was just from a player sort of maybe about to fall over or go out of bounds and throwing it off another player, and they got together after a unsportsmanlike or tech foul was called, and they got together, talked about it, and was nullified. So, hey, GJ Gardner team doing an absolute great job down there in the grey shirts.
As we see Hong Lee with the response to a polybank layup, his own and one, the second of the game for Hong Lee. Yeah, they've done a fantastic job all week, just collaborating to ensure that they get, 2 sets of eyes on whatever happens to ensure that they get the correct outcome.
Yeah, if you're not sure about something, you've made a call and you can talk to your, that's the beauty about this. We've got, 2 referees going at once, so they can have that korero, and just if they need to, just make sure they get the right decision. And I'll tell you what, I have commentated many games this week and have not seen a foot being put wrong. So shout out to you, team, doing a great job. Hey, and our score benches too, they've been fantastic. Aroha to the boys on the cameras, the production staff.
Yeah, it takes a lot for a tournament of this scale to go ahead, and probably one of the biggest secondary school tournaments or tournaments in general in New Zealand, perhaps outside of volleyball nationals. So shout out to everyone involved, because many hands make light work and a lot of people giving up time to help out, particularly the volunteers.
Yeah, and as we always see, when I get here, I can see Jay and Chori, the elite duo that are running this event. You know, the computer screens are always on. Work being done well into the night. So, speaking done sort of well into the night, those under 16 girls did a great job last night, Ryan. You would have loved watching that.
Yeah, absolutely. Got pretty tight down the stretch, but Coach Connolly, Coach Jones and Coach Melissa had those girls ready to go, and they pulled it out of the bag with a lovely defensive possession, forcing Chinese Taipei.
How good
and their go-ahead shot to go out of bounds, air ball.
How good are those Broughton twins, mate? Speaking of which, not one of the Broughton twins, but shout out to Shalom Broughton, Hari Hurito Mātua. Happy birthday. One of the great leapers of high school basketball, St Kitts.
While we've been sidetracked there, Hamilton just chipping away at the lead. It's 26-all, a chance for Dale to make a couple quarter-toe tukus to take the lead. Just have a bit of backcourt pressure. St Pat's not been able to capitalise on any of their offensive positions. As Finland Grell is looking to sub in the shooter, should he make it? And he duly obliges, apologies, for Haben Schutte.
Yeah, Haben Schutte's been good with his opportunities. Again, you know, first chance seeing these teams gives a chance for these young men, not to necessarily just impress us, but to everyone that's tuned in. And I've seen some pretty good talent on display so far.
Yeah. Nice offensive positions there by St Pat's Town. They're getting through when they get through their triggers in their offense, they do get some quality of looks, as a couple dribble drive penetrations results in a nice easy shot for Corey Harrison. He knocks that down for Hamilton to retake the lead.
Sorry, mate, carry on.
Polly Blank, they're just getting into their away screens, away curl screens, as MāORI lefty lay.
He's saying, Hill Morton, you know, they've clawed their way back into this. And just as I almost rudely over-talked you, Ryan, St Pat's wrestle back the lead, but doing a great job, Hill Morton, just to get back into this one.
Morioho, Latu, probably needs to go straight up there. Didn't need that dribble. The drop, Corey Harrison, who's dropping down help side, would have had to go across his body there to challenge that shot, but the dribble allows the guard to get his hands in the
cross-court pass here as well. As a coach, do you enjoy seeing one of those being thrown? It's a bit risque.
Just, I mean, all depends on the context. As we see an offensive foul, Morioho just shoving his player out of bounds, out of the way, so he could set the cross screen. A turnover occurs.
I've had a Hill Morton High alumni message me early today. 7'1", Angus Lowe. I've never seen someone 7'1", Ryan, who cannot make it easy reverse layup. Yeah, some of the greatest highlights you'll see. Said Pioneer is the best provincial team in the Canterbury competition, so I'm intrigued by that. I've heard about Checkers and Lincoln, so I don't know about this Pioneer. I heard Atami were the real victors, though, taking out that local competition. But yeah, shout out Gussie, up early this morning. Good to see.
6 seconds on the clock here, sideline out of bounds. Hill Morton, the switch there by St Pat's Town, middle ball screen, pull up, midi, short. Short off the tupper, Latu, the defensive two-upper, and the break. Made it harder than it should have been, but it's 2 points nonetheless.
Great upper body strength to just create that initial contact, something we've talked about quite often in this tournament, Ryan, just to be able to use your strength without causing it, too much of an extension and drawing an offensive foul.
And probably a disappointing foul by Anderson, as St Pat's Town are in the penalty, and we've still got 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, so should Hamilton remain aggressive, they'll be shooting a fair few quarter-toe tokus
not quite at that level of that Rosmini game that we caught. We had foul trouble at the 8-minute mark. But 6 minutes, that's a wealth of time to play in this second quarter to be in the bonus. Look to Hill Morton to attack. I would love to see Hong Lee, who was being a real exponent of attacking the tapa. I hope he...
Won't be able to attack the tupper if he's sitting on the bench.
No. Coach Langrell, what have you done to me?
Perhaps, well, I don't know if Coach Polyblank's got a zone in his locker, but you know, sometimes his zones can mitigate some of the foul trouble as they get into the away screen series. Anderson, left to right, and throws it towards our referee on the baseline. Good pressure by Hill Morton. Just, you know, they haven't quite got the lead yet. They've taken a few one-point leads, but the pressure and the foul trouble is going to allow them to really find some momentum here. As we'll see an Iverson's cut, duly broken up by St. Pat's Town. Spin move. Shot clock winding down here. And it will stay with Hill Morton. We've got 3.5 on the shot clock. Nice little play there. Just a straight back screen, take the switch, slip to the ball. Left hand hook shot. Don't see many of those often.
No, Joshua Finn later. You wouldn't have wanted to find him any later than that. Not a lot of seconds left on the shot clock, as you said, and a great play drawn up. You need a basket, you need it quick. That was fantastic coaching and great execution.
Town now playing with a low shot clock. Oh, and the bailout. This is a strong drive there by number 11 from St. Pat's Town. We're assuming it's Leota, but we don't want to make any assumptions. But again, like really aggressive drive and probably just a soft foul by Hill Morton.
Brian Doubledam on Facebook Messenger, if you can clarify that. Slide into the DMs, let us know. We love bringing you the most accurate and up-to-date information wherever you might be enjoying this one, folks.
Hill Morton. Probably a little bit quick of a shot there by Hill Morton as the D-trans was non-existent, and so the defensive two-up are allowing for the leak out.
Oh, he's open under the hoop there. Again, Finn later. Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot of contact there. And unfortunately, we've got a Hill Morton player down.
Doesn't look good either.
And we'll see if we get a replay because I'm not sure the St. Pat's defender was set.
Yeah. Hudson Major, unfortunately, taking a major tumble here on this one.
Okay, he was out of the charge circle, but he was already leaning back before the contact, so almost should have been an N1 as we catch a different angle of it. But heavy fall, and you can see while Major's a little bit sore to get up, a little bit slow as Town have a 5-point lead.
Great find, great wraparound pass to the corner.
Langrell, Toby, operating up top, step through, nowhere to go. Gets away with the travel, but unconverted. Here's Polybank on the break.
Yeah, definitely able to use his size, Polybank to his advantage there.
Yeah, he's got a big frame, and I believe he's only year 11, so he's got a bright future. He's certainly got some areas to improve skill development, but you know, look out when he's year 13, he's going to be a handful.
It is interesting, some of these, you know, young rangatahi that we are seeing on display this week, you know, and you see some of these gigantic human beings, and, you know, and then sometimes, yeah, you find out, oh, yeah, they're only year 11. Or
yeah. As we see the father, Brendan Polyblank, Palmerston North old boy, fun fact, long-time Wellington State pro hooper, the coach of the St. Pat's Kilburnie squad.
I believe he came down to the Nuggets for a little bit too.
Yeah, I think he might have played around the league a few spots, but certainly the Saints for the longest.
Yes, you're right. It was lovely seeing Jordan Mills as well, general manager of the Saints, CEO.
I tell you what, if you want to see a strong mid-range game, go back and look at some Brendan Pollyblank highlights, because he operated out of the high post to mid-range with that silky left-hand jumper.
Must be so nice as well, you know, being around the dinner table and being able to talk hoops with someone who's been there, done that.
Easy foul call there by the referees. The harder committed by Toby Langrell is Albedaraham was in his pivots and just a little bit too much contact. And Kilburnie doing a really good job not fouling despite being on the penalty for the last 3 minutes, and they've built a 6-point lead. Certainly playing the more consistent basketball, as we see a steal by Langrell after the huddle was committed. He was exploring midi, strong off the tapa.
Harbin Shuti showing that he can shooty that basketball. Kurufifi Toru, Ryan, wow.
Well, you could hear the St. Pat's Town bench yell out shooter, so clearly perhaps they heard him he made all the buckets in the game and pool play, because they were yelling out shooter for Harbin Shuti as he duly obliges on the kura tau toku. Scrappy underneath. Here's a small run, you know.
Yeah.
See, they had a 6-point lead. It's back to 1 as Finlater gets the loose ball and puts it up and in.
Sort of fell at his feet, didn't it, really, for Finlater? A little early Christmas present.
Helping strong side corner there. Usually you don't do that, but this time, well, he got the deflection, just went straight to Latu.
Yeah, unfortunately, Joshua Finlater there finding the elbow, I believe, of Darius Latu. Inadvertent. It was lovely sportsmanship, Latu going up and just checking on him. But yeah, not the best place to find your face, Ryan, catching someone's elbow.
Again, just like the first quarter, a number of offensive two-uppers. It was similar for the previous possession when Harbin Shuti knocked down his kura tau toku. A couple more there for Hill Morton, as we just see the relentless effort and probably lack thereof of the defensive two-upper. Corey Harrison earns himself 2 kura tau tokus. We've got about 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And how good is the tukurua that we've been getting via our amazing cameramen, the replay. We've got camera angles, we've got replays. Day 6, the best of the best. It all builds up to today, Ryan. I'm going to get a bit emotional by the end of the day, I can tell. It's always sad leaving this thriving metropolis of the P-Naughty.
Paradise North, man. The weather hasn't the weather put it on for you guys all week?
Yeah, no, I
perfect.
felt like I'm about to be flooded at any stage.
Perfect conditions to watch some basketball. Latu.
Yeah, I almost took Noah's Ark here this morning, that walk up. Didn't know if my little rental was going to make it or not in the torrential downpour, but hey, there was no way I was going to miss this one and an opportunity to call this game with you, Ryan.
And we couldn't have asked for a better start. You know, we always just want close games. And we've got one here again, more offensive two-uppers for St. Pat's Town, unable to convert, and then a foul about 70 feet from the basket allows Dowell to make another trip to the kura tau toku line, where he has just struggling just a little bit, a lot short off the tapa. Perhaps that fatigue coming in here on day 6, the AA Secondary School Nationals.
And that's why you want to get that opposition into foul trouble as soon as you can, because, as you said, going the 70 feet from a foul called, you know, sort of within your half of your own half, so to speak, and then you travel down the other end of the court and you get bonus basketball.
And that's, I think it's a struggle for a lot of high school kids. They just are really unaware of sometimes time, but certainly, oh, we're in the bonus, coach? It's like, yeah, you guys have been fouling all quarter. Like, what do you expect? So just having that awareness, okay, I can't be that aggressive, because if I'm aggressive and I'm not disciplined in that aggression, then it's 3 points, essentially, if they can knock them down. So there has to be that kind of balance, particularly if you're either in the bonus or close to the bonus, around the aggression.
Yeah, you're just that, as you said, the awareness, you're not going to be able to play your natural game. You've got to be a bit more reserved, and it's quite a hard task, you know, being able to have that mental sort of fortitude to just say, hey, you know, I need to be aware of where we're at, and just, I guess you've got to wall up, hands in the air, and hope for the best, right?
And even conversely, like currently Hillmorton's only on 3 fouls, so perhaps they get down to the last position and they've only got 3 fouls. They could burn one to stop a potential drive early on and disrupt the last possession if Town do have the last possession of this.
And Town have got some great transition basketball too, so as you said, if they can sort of slow that down, put a stop to that, the best way of doing so.
A little bit of pressure in the backcourt here, but easily broken as Latu brings the ball up. Raham. Baseline runner, back screen. Back to Raham.
I think I've learned how to perfect that pronunciation. Abdel Rahman. I believe it is.
Hong Lee. Shapes to shoot, and the Hudder, it's another one. This time Corey Harrison shapes to shoot, left-hand drive, and just a little bit out of control there.
No, your enthusiasm's got me up and out of my seat too. Ryan, 42-41 with Hillmorton a chance to take the lead.
We don't have official stats here, but I dare say Hillmorton would have left a fair amount of points at the Koro Tautoku line.
I'm also intrigued to know if anyone, you know, with all these fouls, this is like foul trouble for St. Pat's.
And if we catch a glimpse of the St. Pat's Town bench, we got Polly Blank just perhaps stretching out a hamstring or a glute or a calf muscle on the bench, not sitting on the chair. So I wonder if he's just dealing with a slight niggle, as you can see him in the background on the current shot, as his teammates get to work against this Hillmorton defense rather.
Yeah, I was devastated. I went to, obviously the offensive two-upper there, went to City Fitness. They've got a sort of a wellness room there, and with a massage gun, etc. You know, the hip was burning. I went in, and yeah, apparently you needed a premium membership. Right? I thought I had a black membership. I thought I was the man, but no, not the case.
Got to pay extra for the good stuff. As I see another. Catch a glimpse of Polly Blank just rolling out. An offensive two-upper by St. Pat's. They missed the bunny and then they commit the foul straight away, and Harrison makes good on the first quarter Tautoku.
It's quite a long trip for St. Pat's, isn't it, to walk all the way back to your own sort of area to get into position.
Hillmorton finally making use of this foul trouble. They've taken a 2-point lead. 30 seconds to go as Anderson misses a right-hand layup.
What a big difference between shot clock and game clock as this one winds down for the first half.
About 2 seconds. Or perhaps an unnecessary drive there. And there's your last foul committed by Hillmorton.
As you said, might have been a good foul. I know it wasn't sort of one of those intentional, to stop the play ones from Hong Lee, but
does give you a chance to set up your defense.
Exactly.
And now we see a timeout. I would assume by Hillmorton, rather it is irrelevant as the timeout's reset going into the second half. 12.8 seconds, make that 13.6. There's a little bit of times added to the clock for Hillmorton to come up with ATO and after timeout play and get a quality look before we head to the major break.
I like that ATO, like a little acronym. After timeout, ooh. Yeah, no, what a interesting game we've seen unfold. The pendulum has swung both ways, both sides showing they can go on to win this. I know we talked about that pool play game earlier, 111-85. You know, maybe the scoreline wasn't a great reflection of what actually transpired, because this 2-point game with St. Pat's, a chance here to tie it up going into the half, or even taking the lead, Ryan.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us as viewers and fans of the sport, they're competing evenly. We've got a close game, and we can ask for nothing more as the timeout ends. Hill Morton, no advancements in the first half, so the ball will be baseline out.
See Rosmini warming up in the background.
Apologies, it's St. Pat's Town ball, so they'll be looking to run something in this last 12 seconds. The deep catch in the corner. Rahman. Reversal. Oh, they want the corner shot. And Nets have to chuck it up. Oh, no good on the Koroto Tugu. Just a little bit long, the timing. Darius Latu was screening in there before Abdul Rahman got there, as Hill Morton will take a 44-42 lead at the major break here at Fly Palmy Arena. Te Papaioa will catch you after the ads. Thanks for tuning in.
Just want to welcome everyone here today, all you beautiful Whanganui people.
These hoops are pretty mean, eh?
Girls are twice as likely to drop out of sport. That's why 2 Degrees is committed to fighting for fair for women and girls in sport at every level. Get your Support Her merch and keep her in the game.
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what Nativa are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forests so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
Get the MāORI Plus app. Download now on Google Play or the App Store with exclusive viewings and 100% ad-free.
Quite like top tier.
Watch us anywhere, anytime. Make MāORI Plus your mate and stream now.
It's nau mai rā. Nau mai ki tēnei pāhotanga Poitikohu. Welcome to this basketball broadcast. Whakata Māori beaming to this into your living rooms, wherever you might be around the motu. I'm going to kick this over to my main man, Ryan. Ryan, 44-42, Hill Morton with a slight advantage here over St. Pat's. What have you enjoyed so far on this one?
I think it's just been an even contest here, which is certainly what we want as viewers. You know, these coaches are getting deep in their bench, giving everyone some burn, but we've seen an entertaining affair, a lot of offensive toot-uppers, perhaps some fatigue showing in, but we've got a close ball game. We could ask for nothing more as we capture some scenes here at halftime. Shout out to certainly our major sponsor here at this AA Secondary School Nationals and Single A is Foot Locker, Whakata Māori, bringing you the vision all week, and we've got 3 more games after this, including the 2 national championship games.
I just had a word with one of our good friends, James Lissaman, and one of the players that stood out for me early in this one was Benjamin Habinshuti. And with Habinshuti, I can't believe it. Ryan, he's only year 10, and he can shoot the air out of this ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Bright futures for both teams with a lot of young talents.
And we're about to get underway here in this third quarter. 44 Hillmorton High School playing 42 St. Pat's College Kilburnie. And if we can carry on and finish the way this one has started, what a treat. You know, I hope those of you who have obviously tuned in, got up early, maybe put the jug on at halftime and enjoying a nice little hot brew on your Saturday morning. Tune in for this second half here as these boys have it all to play in front of them.
Māori, oho, float again.
Good to have you back there, Sir Double Dam.
44 all, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a scrap under the paint. More offensive two-uppers and another one. Hong Lee, to the displeasure of the St. Pat's Town bench.
Hong Lee's impressed me. He's attacked the hoop. He's put his body on the line. You know, on day 6 and you're still looking to take a charge there, although the huddle was drawn. You know, it's those little things that you love to see. And something we talked about, hey, this is 17th, 18th, Ryan, but I don't know what it is, but the mana, when you put on that school jersey and you're playing for the front of the jersey, it's, you know, it brings it out of these boys and girls.
I guess for most people, if you're playing the sport, you're a competitive person. So, hey, 23rd, 24th, first or second, you play to win the game. Your coach, Herm Edwards, American football coach, the famous, where he goes off, you play to win the game. And these boys are playing to win the game. They want to go out. Whoever wins this game will finish on a 3-win streak.
Great coaching reference too that you...
As we see, another offensive two-upper. And a lot of jumping going on, not a lot of boxing out as Mori Oho all the way down the lane, and he'll go back to the Kuruto Tuku. As we start to see the next round of teams roll in, we've got Te Kureke Papa Raumata.
It's another little tidbit as well. So Eli Hong Lee, name that you might remember, a bit of a Canterbury Rams stalwart. So he is Marcus Whippy's nephew. Does that name ring a bell?
Remember Marcus Whippy.
There you go. Big Fijian lad from the Rams.
I do, yeah. It's a throwback.
Yeah, so that was a nice little name drop. Again, James Lissaman, I won't take the credit. Thank you for getting into the DMs, brother. 47-44, St. Pat's wrestle back that lead.
Latu on the defense, out of bounds. And yeah, I think back in those days, maybe early mid 2010s, and we had Pacifica players who could come over and play not as imports. Unsure if that rule will still apply, but we don't see as many, I guess, unnaturalized Pacifica imports in our National League.
This is what I love to see. You'll see the referees coming together here just to have a chat.
Yeah.
Are you sure you saw what you saw?
Different angles, just to double check, because St. Pat's Town bench, ecstatic. Horo Maka bench, not happy at all as we look to get the right decision. You can see our GJ Gardner Holmes referees as the call is overturned and everything is right in the world.
Yeah, I'd rather they take the time just to make sure that, you know, chat it over, get it right. And we can see maybe some elite whakamaru being played here by St. Pat's, a big defensive position here.
Yeah, referees just had another conversation about what the shot clock should be. We'll be getting down to 11 for the rangatahi of Hill Morton.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, especially us here being a neutral, we just like to see the most fair game possible. So yeah, referees chatting things over, getting the right call, and that's things we love to see. Stevie Cousins in the building.
Yep, Stevie Cousins here. So we just saw Town drop it into a zone, a nice little baseline out against the zone for Morton as they send a shooter to the corner, have to step out, slip into the space, catch the basketball, pressure. Too much pressure for St. Pat's Town as more free throws for Harrison. And he obliges the Kuruto Tuku. 2-point basketball game here, and Moriuho must be in some foul troubles. He takes a seat just a minute 40 into the...
Is that Polyblank that we have subbing in for him, though, in the 12 singlet?
Yes, it's the first time I've seen him on the court for a while. Whatever niggle he had, he's comfortable to get back on the court. Dribble keeper. Nice, strong drive. Ryota.
It's always the worst thing when we've got the one player who we don't necessarily have on our score sheet with the potential correct number, and it's that player that goes out there and has themselves a game. So you have to mention them quite often, but we don't have the folks. Please get out Ryan Doubledam or myself, Greg Elliott, if you do have the most up-to-date information, because we want to get it right for you, Whānau.
Yeah, we apologise if we are getting it wrong. Regardless, both of having good games, as we see Polyblank with the offensive two-upper up and in.
I know it's such an added cost, but we love it when the names are on the back of the singlet. It's just a guarantee we're getting it right. He's worked hard.
Yeah, physical basketball. About 5 or 6 dribbles to his right hand. Contact taken. That was Finlater with left hand. Apologies.
Caught an errant elbow earlier on this one, Finlater, so good to see he's got no ill effects of that. Oh, Kurufifi Toru, Ryan!
Lewis Anderson, all the way from Kilburnie, knocks it down. And straight back at you was Glenn Grell, which misses the lefty lay. Here come Town, looking to build their biggest lead of the game, but couldn't handle the pass.
Sometimes we can be guilty of being too unselfish there, just the extra pass. Oh, what a find! What a cut!
Beautiful cut, great pass, Finlater leading him to the basket.
Hudson causing some major problems here for St. Pat's.
Oh, lovely late 45 cut. And the offensive two-double, and the hoop, and the harm.
And doesn't he like that one? The boys all around him just helping their teammate up.
There's a nice passage of play there. We had the advantage initiated by Albudraham, backdoor cut, and then the 45 cut. Now, hard to defend.
Yeah, great Tukurua there. The replay of that action.
There's the St. Peter's College of Auckland into the building. We've got Rosmini warming up in the background.
One of my favourite traditions, Ryan, if it's your first time at this tournament, playing for Rosmini, you must shave your head. I thought you were playing for Rosmini when I first saw you with your beautiful...
Number one all over?
Number one all over, yeah. I feel like that's the staple here in Palmy.
Keep it simple, you know.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about bed head in the morning.
No, I think the boys in the behind the scenes with the cameras were loving my hair this morning, so can't believe I was broadcast all over the TV thinking that was not the case. It was. Thank you for pointing that out to me, by the way.
As we see Mana College just making use of the Foot Locker, perhaps a little team photo.
Can't
as
wait
they point themselves out on the big screen.
Can't wait for our commentary team photo. Yeah, don't the Wahine love that one. You might see that on your TikTok later, right?
The Greg Elliott highlight reel of commentary at AA.
I actually did make it onto someone's TikTok. I shouted someone out, and then, yeah, not going to toot my own horn. It's all about the young men out here in front of us, Hillmorton High and St. Pat's College, Kilburnie.
As we see Tauranga girls enter the building, they'll be taking the show court in the not too distant future, playing off for 3rd and 4th against St. Kitts.
Something you don't want to see, though, is one of our young wahine there in crutches.
Yeah, unfortunate for... It's a bit of height loss there for Tauranga girls. Perhaps it would have been helpful with Rasmussen yesterday dealing with her abilities as the three-point play the old-fashioned way is converted. Vincent with the ball, bringing it up. Picked it up in an awkward spot though. Some good pressure by St. Pat's.
Yeah, and as a coach, you know, once you get that ball, once you pick that ball up, it can be dangerous territory. Oh, and the big Nwanga Tiawase reverse pass back in.
Just probably not the most disciplined basketball there in the last 20 seconds. There's a couple of offensive toed-uppers, almost dribble out of bounds. We see Dowell on the floor, a little shaken up. The ball does stay with Horomaka. 15 seconds on the shot clock here. Probably should have been 14 as a front court turnover and another one.
I feel like not a lot of time has transpired, Ryan, and just quickly St. Pat's out to an 8-point lead. Potentially 10 here with a toed-upper, and it's that man again, Latu.
Yeah, Darius Latu, a beast on the boards. As we just see a lot of jumping battles here, and they tend to have been favouring the offensive players.
Yeah, Latu just timing his jump, just couldn't sort of regain full control to get a good look.
As he gets the first quarter Tautoku to drop. She's out to a 9-point lead.
And the 9 singlet too. Latu.
And friendly roll off the tupper. Arthur Cole will rejoin us for Lewis Dowell. Vincent. Later, spin, lefty, floater, strong.
That's one of the prettiest moves I've seen over this 6 days so far since we've been here. Finlater
sporting the bright pink shoes. Latu, strong off the toed-upper.
Look at him in there battling. It's like 3 white singlets and you see Latu come in out of nowhere. These Kaitakaro on display, these players going all at it.
Now, one thing we've failed to acknowledge, Hill Morton's in the penalty early in this quarter. So already with the lead here, St. Pat's can
they do a bit of reverse on
get to the free throw line a lot and build their lead. Hill Morton are going to have to be disciplined if they want to make sure that it doesn't get any bigger. As a nice little wheel from the middle, penetration from Langrell, the Finn variety. Finds a nice pass. Knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, Jack Single into the game there for St. Pat's. Just was able to be cool, calm and complacent and withdraw his hands as to not get a touch on that going out of bounds. Big unit too by looks of things. We're going to set some big screens and rewarded.
Single off the tupper. Vincent. Langrell. Little Hezi in the lane, kick out, nice basketball. Kura Whiwhituru, short. Haven't seen too many Kura Whiwhiturus, and maybe that's just the fatigue factor playing a part on day 6.
I think it is part of Hill Morton's game, but because St. Pat's were in that foul trouble so early and there was a lot of hudder being committed, yeah, they were at the free throw line probably for a lot more than they thought they'd be.
As Leota splits the defense, little fadeaway in the paint, leads back to 8.
Just active hands, Ryan, leading to turnovers. I think it's come off his knee there. Marwan Abdel Rahman.
Referees awarded the ball to Hill Morton as we see Habanshuti re-enter the game. It's caught the end of the replay there.
You know, when you find out someone's a shooter, you know, you want to see them sort of prove that or you know, become that in front of you. So looking forward to seeing the year 10 product, Habanshuti, maybe get some opportunities from the Kura Whiwhituru.
Sometimes as shooters, they just create space without even having to make a shot because the threat of them potentially making it or getting an open shot pulls the defender out. and you can actually have a big impact on the game with that kind of gravity.
It's all about the decision making, isn't it? You put the ball on the floor, does another defender come to you, there's that person open, or do you have an open hoop?
And that's the value of being a shooter and a non-shooter. So hard to sometimes keep non-shooters on the floor. As we see the Kura Tautuku in transition launched. Langrel with the lefty, and that is pure. Kura Tautuku back to 3 points.
Aquinas basketball entering the arena here. Great job from them to come from A up to AA. And they had an amazing first day, Ryan. They beat Dilworth in their first game.
Here on the show court?
Yeah, they were Auckland champions and the regional champions. And, you know, Aquinas going up to AA for the first time and getting that victory. That was probably a real statement of this tournament. Probably one of the biggest wins we've seen at this tournament since its conception.
Yeah, as you say, shout out to Aquinas for, single A, as well as Te Kura Kaupapa Urua Mata. So two single A schools, both in the middle 8 and having chances in the 2v3 preliminary finals. Auckland Grammar having to defeat Rua Mata, and then, maybe it was Auckland Grammar Aquinas. Anywho, we've got a ball game here, 58-61, Town up as the defense. The intensity's really started to pick up here lately as we see a late foul. Harbin shooting, not happy. Claiming it was an offensive foul as we catch the replay. Shot clock was winding down. But I think, perhaps a little bit too much contact on the initial drive. As the Dub C, Wellington College, enter the building. Coach Langrel on the camera having a chat with the referee. First quarter Tautuku along off the tapa.
We've also got some young wahine.
Rangitoto.
Yeah, Rangitoto.
Rattles the second one home, 4 points. Plenty of time to go on this ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Fascinating affair. Oh, lovely pass, but...
Harbin shooting.
Langrel back-to-back, Kura Tautuku. Oh, in and out off the tapa. Here comes St. Pat's Town. Kura Tautuku. Long off the tapa.
I'd like to see Harbin shooting in the corner.
Lefty, strong. Another offensive two-upper.
Is that going to be Kura Tautuku's, or is that going to be side out?
Should be side out. Next foul for Palmerston, they'll be shooting. Finlater, risky pass to Langrel, managed to get it back, and the little floater. A couple of lefties here, both Finlater and Langrel.
Great kudu there from Langrel.
Polly Blank. Reginaldo back to Polly Blank. Shot clock winding down again. Abdurrahman. He's got it. Kura Tautuku. It's out to 5. Langrel. Harrison. Mid-range. Right back at you. Abdurrahman bringing the ball up. Got a look, Vincent screen, the shooter, but he rolls. Leota. Vincent, Kura Tautuku. Oh, in and out. Off the tapa. Dowell. Midi again, too strong. Off the tapa. Things heating up here in Fly Palmy Arena. Got all the teams rolling in for the next round of games. Unfortunate Falcon there. The ball will stay with Palmerston as we see in the background. We catch a replay here. Just an unfortunate Falcon.
Oh no.
The ball streams into the medals being brought out for the championship games.
I don't think we'll see that on the highlight reel for that young man.
Maybe the bloopers.
Apparently, looking on Glory League, number 11 has been Polyblank in their other games. 12 was Leota, so potentially have switched tops, or...
Yeah, I mean, there's a strong chance that I've just, for some reason, thought the opposite and stuffed it up.
Yeah, I might go throw you under the bus and say I'm rolling with Ryan Double-Dam. Everything he says is gospel to me, so...
Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take the blame. There's no issues there.
No, that's the Titanic, man. I'll go down with you, brother.
It's Harrison to the line.
Not so long ago, St. Pat's out to an 8-point lead as we see the medals on display, and ooh, they look beautiful.
Bronze, silver, and gold. Some MVPs, defensive player of the tournament.
Wow.
Championship cups.
I wonder who MVP commentator's going to get this week.
You'd be drawing names out of the hat, wouldn't it? Fan vote.
Could be Rangatira Tobias. Looking forward to seeing his special brought to you by Whakata MāORI.
Last shot of the quarter here. St. Pat's Town, what have we got? Oh, we've got a turnover.
This is a huge basket.
Oh, he's loading up for the dunk. Finlater. He loaded it up like he wanted to throw it down. But Abdul Rahman said, "No, mate, you're going to earn it at the Kura Totoku."
Great effort there as well from Abdul Rahman to just get back and contest, so it wasn't going to be a unsportsmanlike or when you're coming from behind like that. As you said, he was building up to go for a dunk. Yeah, he was able to get back into play and actually make a play on the ball. So that's huge effort. And quarter 3 in your last game for a 17th, 18th playoff. We've talked about this so much. What sort of effort were we going to see from these young rangatahi? And they have been leaving it all on the line, Ryan.
Oh, just strong off the second quarter Totoku. Oh, didn't need to throw that. As we get a half-court heave, just long off the glass. And what an entertaining game we have, Greg. We were worried about a blowout, and we have the absolute opposite. It's a 1-point game, 65 St. Pat's Kilburnie, 64 Hillmorton.
Asper's been nothing less than stellar, my friend. 111-85, as you said, in pool play. St. Pat's sort of looked quite, they got out the gates early, and we did look at each other a couple of times. We thought, are we in for a bit of a long morning here? And to have it 65-64, Hillmorton fighting back the lead. It's been a topsy-turvy affair. Ryan, fourth quarter ahead of us. What do both sides need to go on to win this one?
Been a common theme here in this game. Both teams getting offensive two-duppers. If you can, there's a saying: defense wins games, rebounds win championships. And if your championship 17th or 18th, hey, I got to put a forearm in your chest and get those defensive two-duppers. I control the rebounds. I control the game. I think that's probably the biggest key down the stretch. We have no statistics, but there's been an awful amount of offensive two-duppers from both teams.
Yeah, you've been a huge advocate so far over this trip of getting the forearm in the chest. And as you see JT on screen and Josiah Mama. Looking forward to seeing JT when he makes his way up here. But yeah, as I said, you've been a big advocate for getting physical and restricting these two-uppers, right?
Well, there's no secret in basketball, you've got to put the ball in the hoop to win the games. But to do that, you want to control. You want to have more opportunities to put the ball in the hoop than your opponents. You control the possession game. So limit turnovers, limit O-boards. And if you can secure your own O-boards if you miss, but then limit you're going to have a better chance of winning. So, the shot goes up. Hey, I got a job to do. I go find my guy. I put a forearm in his chest. I go seek the basketball. We're going to do all those small things in the margins to have a better chance of winning.
Now, so when you look at just sort of basic statistics, if you're giving your opposition sort of second, third chance, multiple chance opportunities, at the hoop, more often than not, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Amen. As the quarter break time expired, and the team should be back out on the court as we see Hillmorton leave the bench, trailing by 1, 10 minutes to go. Mori'oho's back in the game. Unsure if he's on 3 fouls or 4 fouls because he's sat for the last 8 minutes and 20 seconds of that third quarter. Coach Polyblank not wanting to get into further foul trouble. As a backdoor cut, just to pass a little bit strong. And the ball hits our stationary camera on the baseline.
Yeah, leave our camera alone. It's done nothing wrong to you. We need that today.
3 more games on the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Up next is Tauranga Girls versus St Kendican. St Kent's having their best season ever at Nationals, making the top 4 is Moriyoho off the tapa. No good in the quarter whiwhi toru. Finlater, left, strong, layup. Palmerston take the lead.
Yeah, they wrestled that back and side of right. Going to have yourself on the call and JT for the next one. So they got the elite trio.
As we see Moriyoho back to work in the paint. Yeah, it'll be interesting to know if 3 people haven't done that before, so we'll get a few expert commentary analysis on what's going on, who's going to go home with that bronze medal and who's going to go out with no silverware despite an impressive campaign.
Yeah, now that I've seen that,
As
the
Dow
medals,
gets you up and under.
they look beautiful. I want to go home with one myself. They look exceptional. So yeah, I'm expecting big battles here for that 3rd spot.
And it's an interesting thing, like we talked about who's going to come out with the energy here in this game. And it's similar for the 3rd and 4th, like the disappointment of we got so far, but we didn't quite reach the final. And then who can reset and, hey, look, let's finish on a high. Let's go home with something to show. You know, depending on how far they have to travel home, going home on a win's a lot easier than going home on an L.
I think also it's good to just step back and just take a look at it. Yeah, you're not going to play off for a gold medal, but the thing is the amount of work that has to go into just qualifying to make it through your region and then to get here, win games, and just to even be able to put yourself in a position to be 3rd in the country. That's such a great achievement in its own.
Yeah, I know for the St Kent's girls who will see coming up next that they're probably well and exceeded their expectations as finishing the highest I've ever placed in the girls' side, as Moriyoho comes up with the defensive two-up. A couple good box outs there, that's what I've been after.
You'll see some great emotion from some of these schools that, as you said, you know, they've already made it further than they ever have before. So, you know, great to see that these new kuta are coming onto the grand stage, Ryan, and just excelling.
And there is Dow, back-to-back buckets. Palmerston perhaps with their biggest lead of the game from memory, up 70-67. 7 minutes to go here in the final quarter. Last game of the season for both teams. Paint is packed. Open quarter, Totoku. Oh, in and out for Abdurrahman.
I believe that was a kudu whiwhi toru there.
Been a long week. Even the commentators getting the quarter Totokus, which is the free throw, and the quarter whiwhi torus to the 3-pointer. As we see Hung Lee straight down the lane with the lefty lay, and that's 5 points. Perhaps a timeout needed soon for Coach Polly Blank.
I can't speak highly enough of Hong Lee. Really came into this game and changed a lot of things for Hillmorden.
Latu, there we go, that's what you want to see. Nice friendly roll with the left-handed, a layup around Hong Lee.
I'd love to know what Latu's rebound count is up to. Seems to be bringing down anything and everything for St Pat's.
Abdurrahman. Moriyoho, step through. He's their scorer. Moriyoho tends to be the highest points getter for the St Pat's Town team. There's another strong drive, just a little bit too strong there for Hong Lee.
The Moriyoho footwork and body control just on full display, so impressive.
Must run through the family with Isaiah doing it for the Breakers currently.
Might run through the family of Lewis Dowell as well, or Louis.
Unfortunately out of bounds there off St Pat's. Had the open corner shot or corner pass, but decided to go for the reverse. Palmerston 74, St Pat's Town 71.
just slowly but surely gone about their mahi. Hillmorton High. Again, we reiterate, St Pat's got up to some quite big deficits early throughout this game. And here we go, Hudson Major.
A big time bucket for Major in the paint. A lot of traffic in there and he gets it to go. Away screens, reject. Another one, Reginald, not comfortable shooting it. There we go, he's the midi. In and out off the tupper. Oh, and unlucky. It looked like it came off a Hillmorton hand.
Sometimes you just want to get that shot up. You know, once you start to think about it, that's when you can get in your own head, right, and maybe just get out of the rhythm.
Yeah, the best shots to take are the ones you don't have to think about it. That's why you often see when you're up against either shot clock or game clock pressure, when you just have to shoot it, they quite often go in because you're just like, well, like there's no tomorrow. I just got to get it up as Langrel misses it.
Major making these major plays here in the fourth.
Yeah, hit it. Major impact since coming off the bench.
Day 6, Ryan Double Dab is a different beast, folks, I tell you.
As we see the Aquinas team, a little bit of futsal with the basketball. You're not supposed to kick a basketball, but maybe it's an older one.
I'll tell you what, CJ Flavel for that Aquinas team, he had 51 earlier on in this pool play. He is exciting. Kaimani also for that team, the big boy.
Yeah, Kaimani's got some serious footwork, doesn't he?
Oh, insane. Love what Ben Taggart, head coach, has done for that program.
As a Waiheke called by St Pat's Town, trailing by 5, just looking to try and reduce this gap here.
I know we said we got the Tauranga girls next, and just want to quickly touch on something. How good is it having a NBL team come into a place like Tauranga, and really they've just taken, you know, like a Flavel, Kaimani, also with like Palace, and you know, just having like an NBL team there, and they've set up a headquarters and everything, and they've just got so much running through there, so it's huge for Bay of Plenty, right?
Yeah, the Fire Academy and all the teams associated in that area, Tauranga Boys, Mount Maunganui, Tauranga Girls, Aquinas, across the board, just really getting that coaching, the competition, the facilities you need to improve in an untapped area until 4 or 5 years ago, where a lot of talents started to come out of. And we've got Palas Hokianga, who's already played for the Dolphins, up next here on the Show Court Arena here in Palmy.
No surprises we see, draw that correlation between, this, sort of fire setup, this academy that you speak of, and all of a sudden, Aquinas punching, Tauranga punching, all these teams doing a great job. So,
Duro Mata.
Yep, fantastic.
And Mount Maunganui and the Broughton twins, who led New Zealand under 16 girls to another World Cup appearance, beating Chinese Taipei last night.
What did Karis finish with? I remember seeing her stats. I believe I saw on your socials she had herself an outing.
I think 19.6 boards, 4 assists.
Yeah, I remember the 6 boards, yeah.
Which it's huge, in those low-scoring games, physical games overseas, particular Asia Cups. It's a lead out to 6 points here for Hillmorton High.
Yeah, what have St Pat's, what has Coach Polly Blank got for these young rangatahi here to get back into this game? 6 points can be eviscerated in next to nothing, though.
Here we go. He's the first. Just short there, Abdul Rahman. Short on the Kura Chotoku, leads to the break. Here's Hong Lee, just mishandles it. Latu, bounce pass. Good footwork.
He's going to get back in this game. This is the way to do it, pushing the pace, attacking the tapa. Interesting, we've seen a lot of foul trouble in the first 3 quarters. Hillmorton with no fouls and St Pat's with only 2. So with 4 minutes to go, that could have a big impact with a close game.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to get into that situation where you need to foul, but you're not close to the penalty. Yes, St Pat's a chance here to close it to 1 point. Reginald on the drive. Just nowhere to go, unfortunately. A lot of contact going on.
Need to get the ball over half, but there we go.
Langrel, lefty.
Looks like a bit of some tired bodies out there, Ryan.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you know, we've made mention of it, you know, the 7 to 8 games a day, but you're not sleeping in your own bed and eating at different times. As Mori'oho gets the layup to go, and he's been living in the paint, particularly in this fourth quarter.
St. Pat's right back in this.
And I don't know about these players, but sometimes after games, particularly late games, I find it so hard to switch off and, you know, get to sleep and get a quality sleep. But trying to do that 6 days in a row.
Yeah, it completely throws you out of your usual schedule, like routine, isn't it?
Strong defensive two-upper by Latu.
You said this is the hardest competition to win in the country.
Chance here for St. Pat's Town. 2 quarter to Totoku's coming up. To tie the ball game at 77.
I think this game just deserves to come down to maybe a last possession. I don't think we haven't seen any I haven't commentated any overtime games, Dubs.
Nor have I. The closest we got, me and Jackson Fisher, fortunate enough to call Nelson College Shirley boys as the first quarter goes. Cooper Adams had a shot with about 6 seconds to go to tie it up at 83 all, and just unfortunately long to the right. But there was an epic game that quarter final. 2 deserving teams, and one had to go out on top, and the Shirley boys who find themselves in the final.
Big pump fake there from the big fella and Corey Harrison.
Duckman. We haven't seen much of Harrison, so some big minutes here late in the game. As the shot is a little bit long and it's come off the fingertips of Latu, who's trying to keep it alive for St. Pat's Town boys.
Yeah, he's really fought hard this whole game, Latu. Offensive and defensive end of the two-upper side of things. Had some nice touches too around the basket. A few parketes to his name.
Coming down to the wire here, another stop for St. Pat's Town. They'll get another opportunity to take the lead on this offensive possession.
And we just go under the 2-minute mark left in this one here in the fourth quarter, folks.
Tell you what, Abdul Rahman has put in a big shift. I'm not sure he's taken many breaks. Latu, great kick. Mori'oho turns it down. The Euro, just short off the tupper.
Well, that was very close to the baseline, but our team in great, doing a fantastic job. Eyes on the prize.
And Mori'oho has just fouled out.
That's a huge loss, Ryan.
Yeah, and so he got his 4th foul early in that third quarter where he took that seat. And he's done well here in the 4th to play so long without committing it. But that's the last we'll see of Jade Mori'oho.
And one of the players that St. Pat's definitely wouldn't have wanted to have lost. He's been instrumental in this one, Mori'oho. But Hill Morton a chance to increase their slender advantage here, holding on to a 1-point lead.
Shuti looking for options. Pump fake. Back to his left. Blocked. Big time play. Ball's kept alive. Latu, kick ahead. Reginald, bounce pass, layup. Oh, pretty basketball. St. Pat's Town take a 1-point lead.
Reginaldo with the assist.
Fretanito, Shuti. Oh, in and out off the tupper.
Yeah, we were advised early, Shuti, year 10, one to watch out for.
Roadrunner, footwork. Strong defensive two-upper there by Corey Harrison.
That battle down there is, it's a war of attrition.
Oh, the layup's good. Stop the clock. There we go, 35 seconds. And we have subs.
Dow with an elite take to the hoop. Hill Morton 79, St Pat 78, 35.6 seconds left.
No timeout by Coach Polly Blank. He does have one in the chamber, perhaps saving it for a little bit later here. Drive, corner, three.
Oh!
Gonna have to foul. And like we said, gonna have to foul.
I thought they might look at maybe even to trap, but no foul. What's going on, Ryan?
Hill Morton don't even have to shoot. There it is. And they just, unfortunately, like, yeah, maybe you go for that quick trap, and if you don't get it, you got to save yourself some time.
Well, I thought they were going to go for the trap, but then they got over half and no pressure.
And because they're only on 3 team fouls, they have to foul once more. So there goes another 6 seconds.
You spoke about it earlier, just a game awareness. And if Hill Morton hang on here, A, they've played an amazing game themselves, but B, St Pat's College might just rue that particular passage of play, right?
Now they'll see if we can get the deflection, but they'll foul almost straight away. And they probably should make sure they actually go for the ball, because there's nothing worse than an unsportsmanlike.
Exactly.
Just wrap them up. So we're going to have one Finn Langrell have 2 Koroto Tukus to push the lead to either 2 or 3. And he misses it first. Coach Polly Blank has a timeout, assuming he makes it, he'll use it. Otherwise, you know, St Pat's Town have 6 seconds up the court. Plenty of time to get the ball up the court, but again, you've got to secure the defensive two-dupper.
Yeah, how long is that going to take? Oh, so much could happen right here.
Yeah, he
Take
nails
us.
it.
Oh, we got Waiheke.
Waiheke, yeah. But should he have missed it? You know, the defensive two-duppers weren't a given today.
I have a question for you, my friend. Now, as this is the 17th and 18th playoff, like if you're at Lambeau Field, 2-point game, do you go for the win or do you go for the tie?
You go best shot possible, I think.
Okay.
You're happy to go to over.
But are you drawing up a 3 or are you drawing up a 2?
Well, me personally, I'm taking best shot possible.
Okay.
We're having multiple options. Now, Polly Blank might be like, hey, boys, I don't want to go to overtime. I've had enough. We're going for the kill.
Yeah, that's what I was... Just as I said, as it's the 17th, 18th, do you risk it for the chocolate biscuit or do you want to see some overtime? I'm quite happy with overtime up here in the commentary booth.
Yeah, amen. Amen. What I would be doing is I'd be looking to try and get probably Abdul Rahman shot from 3. That would be my first option, and then second or third options.
I love your answer, Ryan. You know, I asked you, do you go for the 3, do you go for the 2? I thought you might have a job with fencing Palmerston North because you have been on the fence so far when I've thrown a few questions your way, brother. Can't go wrong there if you go with either option. I'm intrigued though.
Ball has advanced here. We're taking Reginald. We'll be taking the ball out on front of the Hill Morton bench, and we're just getting set up here. Here we come. Double curls. Oh, they went for the backdoor layup. He was actually wide open.
If you can get that ball up.
It was actually wide open, just a pass, just a little bit short. We might catch it here. He kind of went for the oop. Just the alley, not quite on target. And
I'm sure we'll get a tukurua
of that. 0.6 seconds here. It's all but done here. Yes.
What an amazing game we've seen here for the 8:30 start. Some serious questions asked at the beginning of this. What were we going to see? And we have seen a spectacle.
As we see a replay. Look, he was right there, wide open. Just the pass a little bit too short. You got to throw it up there. All right, allowing only the offensive player to go get it. He doesn't need to dunk it. He's got 6 seconds. He can just grab it, go down, finish.
Well drawn up play. Just lucky, and that will be it there for Hill Morton. Great victory for them.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. You know, it came down to the wire, and they just made a few more plays at the end when it mattered the most. But an entertaining game to start grand final day.
I can't wait. We've got an amazing one coming up with the Wahine side of things. Is there anything else you want to add, Ryan, before I take us out?
No, I think it was an awesome game. Enjoyed it. You know, kind of wanted to keep going, but, you know, we've got more games to play.
And that'll do us, folks. Noha ora mai rā, ngā mihi nui, mā tō koto, hononga kia mātou. We'll be right back shortly, folks, with some third and fourth Wahine Toa Poitakohu.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
Hi, I'm Andrea from Chemist Warehouse, and we're so excited to be here to launch the initiative Hoops in Schools. We so hope our tamariki enjoy basketball as much as we do.
I like my free hat! Yeah! Hi, my name is Riley, and I like these hoops because it's a great opportunity for us to learn how to play basketball. Hoops because everyone has fun, and then thank you Chemist Warehouse, thank you basketball. Thank you Chemist Warehouse!
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
It's time for action. We are working to reduce the impacts of climate change, side by side, with nature, with each other, through research, investment, and practical innovation. Because nature is not a resource, it's a collaborator. Nativa, leading with nature.
Oh, why are you ruining it for, Joe? Hurry up, come back here.
No, just because you're not tall enough to get on the top.
Nō reira, tēnei te mihi kia koutou, nau mai hoki mai ki te rā mutunga o tēnei whakataitai, te whakataitau poi tūkohu o ngā kura tuarua o Aotearoa. Nō reira, ko Joshua Tukuinga ki tōku taha, oku hoa Greg, rāua ko Ryan, nō reira, mihi nui korua as we look at this third and fourth game, and there Yeah, so boys, third and fourth game, still a lot to play for. A dirty gold, as they like to call it. Thoughts on this one coming up?
Well, I have seen the silverware that is on offer here for this one, JT, and I tell you what, it is one of those ones where I'd be wanting to take that bronze medal home with me 100%. We touched on it earlier, how important it is. Yeah, I guess it's not what they came here for, JT, but in the grand scheme of things, with your school mana on the line, you know, just to be here and be third in the country is huge, as Ryan will take us through St Kent's.
St Kentigern's College, as they look for their best spot finishing here at AA Nationals. We've got Mima Forster, Giselle Forster, Ashley Tuimailu, Charlotte Yock, Mishka McLister, Marama Watine, Kalani May Tuno, Rosabella Ward, Jeanette Tuimailu, Georgia Dixon, Yasmin Bird, Tulosa Lolologa, coached by Darcy Finnegan, assistant by Amanda Waymont.
And on the flip side of things, we have Tauranga girls. The one, the only, Palace Hokianga, Aliyah Barton, Annie Lynch, Kaya Kiriyama, Story Sadler, Jayla Teke, Grayson Parahi, Minonete Leha, Vai Okuso, Ruby Jones, Eden Tapsul, Ali Fowler, head coach James Partia, assisted by Dustine Sadler and Manuel Kahura.
Yeah, mihi atu kia koroa o koroa mahi I tēnei ata, as we see our kai whakahaere Leo Shaw from Southland Basketball and Blake Rosanowski out of Ōtautahi Waitaha Canterbury Basketball. So they're our kai whakahaere team in grey, GJ Gardner referees, as we see last minute instructions from Darcy Finnegan. Gents, tough semi-finals for both yesterday. You know, always hard to back it up, as there is still a lot to play for in this game, but both teams just heartbreakers last night in terms of so close but so far away.
Yeah, absolutely. Like both teams pushed their opponents in the semi-finals to the limits. You know, Tauranga having their chances to upset Westlake, and similar with St Kentigern's over Hamilton Girls. And myself and Greg Elliott on the previous broadcast, you know, talked about wanting to finish off with some pride and some mana, whether it's 3rd and 4th or 17th and 18th. And the long journey home's always easier on a W, right, Greg?
Mate, I'll tell you what, as you just said, the 17th and 18th playoff spot was an absolute banger to get us underway here. It's at 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday. I can only imagine what we have in store here for an actual medal match. And yeah, it was two huge games yesterday. And someone who really impressed me was Kalani Mai Tuino for St Kentigern's College. Fellas, if you look at the other side of things with Tauranga, who are the ones to watch?
You know, Palace Hokianga already representing New Zealand at the open women's level as a Torfern, but you've got Story Sadler, Grace Parahi and Jayla Tiki, all very good role players around Hokianga, as the tip is controlled by Tauranga girls in the sky blue.
Yeah, I believe Jaylen Tiki is a reserve for your junior Torfern squad. Ryan, if you don't know, Ryan is off to Samoa in December for his Ocean competition, as we see a maka there and a strong tūrapa there from Kalani May, who had a massive game, as Greg alluded to last night.
As for you, Ryan, just out of curiosity, not only are you commentating this game, but you'll be watching these sort of games with real intent.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 of the 15 girls in the junior Torfern squad have been participating through this week, so it's been the silver lining of my high school team not making it has allowed me to spend some time with you, Greg, and JT, but also watch the girls compete for their schools and doing all those small things that matter the most, as we see a great defensive possession from Tauranga girls forcing a 5-second violation.
I tell you what, Dubs, their loss has been our game, because you have been tremendous and an absolute bonus you've been this morning, getting to call an extra couple of games with you, the Prince of P-Naughty.
Yeah, Jackson Fisher, better things to do up in Hawke's Bay, so filled in for our young commentator as Sadler, the Koro Fifi Toru, The score sheet's open for Tauranga girls.
Yeah, and Story has shown that she can shoot the deep kuriwhiwhi toru, as she had a few last night. I think, you know, I know we're talking about what happened last night, but her foul trouble really hurt Tauranga in the long run in terms of what they wanted to do from the outside. As we see Ashley Tuamalu open up her account in this Kemu.
The mid-range jumper is strong, and Hokianga straight back at you. What you can do, I can do better, and I'll get an extra point for mine. The kuriwhiwhi toru.
Yeah, has this been a bit of a staple for Tauranga over the years? Are their kuriwhiwhi toru stems all the way down from current Paoka head coach Alex Stojakovic, who spent his first 3 years in Tauranga creating the fight.
I don't know if you can see, fellas, but just behind the scorer's bench there, two beautiful young wahine with the pom-poms and the pink. So cute.
Yeah, out there trying to force. We've got ear horns already here in Palmy Arena, and I dare say there'll be a fair few more this afternoon when we get to our grand final.
Yeah, Pailawatu, Tera Kotiro, Gigi Forster with the Ray.
Tiki exploring. Tough finish over Kalani May. She gets a fingertip to it, registering her first block of the ball game.
Her presence there, as we see her force Pele into a drive, and it's just a little bit too easy there on the array for Pelis Hokianga.
The C's parted there, fellas, and yeah, Pele, bit of a layup line.
St. Kennegan's looking to get Kalani May involved. We saw Tauranga girls struggle with Rasmussen and Moores yesterday, finding themselves in a lot of foul trouble, and St. Ken's will be looking to do similar things here with their own big.
Tuianu just offers such a massive target as another great take. Is that Parahi?
Yeah, on the cut. And a nice dime to lead her to the basket.
Now, I'm not surprised they're doing this, but it looks like St. Kit's making a real attempt at getting down there to Tuino on the low block.
The ball screen was getting set up there, and Parahi cuts in front of her defender.
Yeah, that's a staple there for St. Kennegan's, is to get the ball to Kailani May, as we see Grayson Parahi just kind of like sag off a little bit on Tuamalu, forcing her to shoot, as that's not her strength.
Hada committed there. We'll see if who's on. Number 7. So it's not on Kalani May, because is the focal point of the offense. Coach Finnegan will not want Kalani May to get into some foul trouble early. Sadler, long.
She was ably assisted by both the two Maialu girls. Obviously it does take a village, and Tuanu, the queenie of this St. Kennegan's team, but huge support crew, fellas.
Yeah, nice little pullback push shot there by Tuimalu. Cousins, not sisters, made that mistake on the first day.
Sometimes it's good to get those ones out on the first day, fellas. We've got a great group of people that have no qualms in letting us know too, and we appreciate all the assistance. We want to get it right at the end of the day, so we're not offended if you let us know. We want to get it right.
Hokianga with the duck in. Gets the lefty lay to go.
Yeah, gentlemen, there's been a few back cuts and face cuts here from Tauranga, so I think St. Kit's will do a better job, as we see a great entry pass into Kailani May. Just back there, better job at just bumping the cutter, just sending them off their lines, because it's looking pretty easy for Tauranga right now.
I'm so glad you got your stat sheet up too, JT, because Tuanu, wow, she filled it up yesterday.
Yeah, no, she was pretty great yesterday. Finished with 32 and 18 two-dupper, so had a massive game, and like we alluded to, forced 11 fouls to be committed on her, so such a big presence she is for this St. Kennegan's girls team.
Yeah, plenty of trips to the Koroto Tuku, putting Westlake in plenty of foul trouble. Hamilton girls, apologies, plenty of foul trouble, as Tuimalu can't get the friendly roll on the tupper, and Here comes Tauranga Girls. The Hokianga here on the right wing, just surveying. Parahi, she's a shooter, she wants to get them up, but good defense there by St. Kitts. Sadler's running out of room, and that is a tough look, but Tiki, right time, right place.
Yeah, great offensive toot-upper. His Tauranga team just really stretched the floor really well, and their spacing has been quite excellent early on, and it's putting pressure on the St. Kitts rotations this morning.
Outside of Jones, all 4 guards can hit the Korowhiwhi Turu, allowing for superior spacing. Hey, Korowhiwhi Turu. Gigi Forster, probably the better of the shooters for the St. Kennecans College. And, you know, if they hit a couple of Korowhiwhi Turus, Greg, that'll see Kalani May have some more space under the hoop.
Oh, Fufu Forster, I love the way she got that up. As we said earlier, no hesitation. And what a great start to this one. Ruby might be around the motu.
As we see the beautiful array there from Tuamalu. That's the cousin of Ashley Tuamalu, as Ryan alluded to earlier. Story Sadler's forcing her way in and forces the header on number 5, Gigi Forster.
And the energy in the Fly Palmy Arena as we catch the replay is palpable, and we're building towards a couple of grand finals this afternoon, but we have a rose gold to hand out and a bronze medal at the conclusion of this game. The tie, the score's knotted at 15 apiece here.
Who was up early polishing those? Looks like they're doing a great job. They are sparkling, gleaming, accolades galore. And not only is it the medals, but also we'll have our all-star 5s as well, fellas.
Yeah, there's a change in recent years going from the tournament team of 10 to the all-star 5, so significantly harder to get. And the newly appointed in recent history, the Depoy, the Defensive Player of the Year. So we'll be looking at giving out some awards this afternoon. As Tuamalu putting Ruby Jones under pressure. Jones, the tallest of the Tauranga girls, you don't want to see her getting to foul trouble because then you're getting mismatches underneath for Kalani May.
And both Tuamalu girls were absolutely killing it yesterday. Was so impressed with their performances. You know, it has been a first look at some of these teams for myself in particular, and I've been so impressed with what I've seen.
Yeah, just a side note, fellas. No team has made a substitution yet. So all these Te Kau Wahine have been on the court for pretty much the whole game so far. As I say that, Tauranga girls are about to make a substitution. There's number Te Kau. Ali Fowler will check in the game, and Sadler will take a noho on the sideline.
JT, you made a great point earlier. I believe you said something about Tauranga. The third place finish seems to be something that's been on the cards for them in recent years.
Yeah, unfortunately they've had a great run in terms of competing for a medal, but they just can't get over the hump of the semi-final. They've had a few real close semi-finals like last night. I remember a few years ago against a real tough St Andrews College as well. So this is not unfamiliar territory for Tauranga, but it's not the one that they just really want to be in. As we see Palmy with the great defense and slick move there with the Taha MΑORI.
Tough left-hand finish there by Palmy. And we spoke about this earlier on this broadcast in the previous game is you're not where you want to be, but who can get up for the game? And again, we've got another entertaining battle here. And the late foul call is perhaps the second on Ruby Jones, which would be big time for St. Kitts getting the one Wahine with the length that can bother Kalani May.
Yeah, sorry boys, I was a little bit mistaken. I thought that was number Te Kau. It's number Te Kau Mawha via Akuso.
Interesting to know too, we talked about it, Ryan and I, but JT, how big is it of an impact is it having the Phi Academy, being implemented in the Tauranga region, and how much of a huge part of these young wahine for Tauranga girls in particular?
Oh yeah, it's been massive. They've done a great job there in Tauranga with the development of their wahine, not just their wahine, their tama as well. We see Aquinas, Tauranga boys, Mount competing at the highest of levels this week. But no, like you look at what the Phi Academy has brought to Tauranga and the skill development, the prowess, what they created, it's evident in terms of also happening in rep basketball as well with, you know, I think all of their teams were in the final or contention for a final this year at every level for the wahine.
Yeah, Aquinas has been the real surprise for me, you know, coming up from A to AA. So Kuru Whiwhi just offline.
This game really starting to open up here, end-to-end action. Both teams unable to convert opportunities. St. Kitts just slow it down, trying to get it into Kalani May. Quick double. Yeah, the hoop of the heart, Kalani May.
Yeah, tēnā paira tu tōna mahi o Tērā Kōtiro, just so big and physical. You know, Grayson Parahi is an athlete, but the size and the strength from Kalani May just to be on balance and finish through the contact is very difficult.
Something you may have remembered last night too, fellas, Westlake were throwing relentless double teams at Kalani May, and she just seemed to break them like effortlessly. Do you think that's something that St. Kitts might be, that Tauranga girls might implement at some stage?
If I was Tauranga girls, you saw in the first couple of post-ups that they were sagging in front of Kalani May to discourage it, and unless St. Kitts can consistently hit those kura whiwhi turus, I wouldn't extend so far out. If Kalani May does get a catch, I've noticed that the Tauranga girls are quite straight up. I'll probably try and get it more of a stance, slide my feet, and make it more difficult, as we see Okeoso do a really good job of that and force Kalani May into the miss.
Sure, there was a massive rebound there from Grayson Parahi too. I have noticed like she is very great at when she does get the defensive tūrapa, you know, she initiates the fast break, as we see her on the beneficial of an assist from Hokianga.
Nothing better than giving that player a shout out there, talking about their skill set, and they go ahead and go and pull off something like that. Parahi, impressive.
Forster hit a kura whiwhi toru earlier. Look to keep shooting to try and draw out their defense. As Palmy, just too easy, but misses the right hand player. Frustrated at herself for not taking advantage of the offensive tūrapa.
Like you said, Ryan, I'd like to see Tauranga just put a little bit more pressure on Kalani May to force others to shoot those shots. They're kind of letting it become a little bit too easy for her to catch the ball in places where she's comfortable.
Last possession of the quarter here. As we get a little tie up, Greg Elliott.
Fellas, I was just about to say, this quarter has just rocketed by. 6.8 seconds left on the clock. I feel like it was just tip-off about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and there's been a few fouls from Tauranga girls, but not too many overall, which has resulted in quite a free-flowing quarter, which has forced a kura whiwhi toru. Oh, in and out off the tapa. Oh, ball to Mailu. And perfect end for St. Kitts, gentlemen.
Yeah, like you said, alluded to the foul count. Only 6 fouls that entire quarter, so quite free-flowing, not a lot of stoppages. As we see Ashley Tuamailu finish with the lefty, and St. Kitts boys up Roa Te Kau to Tacoma Iwa.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be Tauranga girls taking that slender advantage into the break, but Tu'umaialu there, what a fantastic finish. As you said, with the left, skills on display aplenty, gentlemen, so far in this one.
Yeah, it's been a well-rounded affair from St. Kitts. You know, we've seen Kalani May involved down low, the Tu'umaialu girls making some shots, and Gigi Forster, kura whiwhi toru. Conversely, it's been a lot of Hokianga off the dribble, getting some really good looks, as we see Mike Lacey.
Oh, the Lacey lowdown.
Taking in the action. And then some Parahi cuts. So yeah, entertaining affair, and what more could we ask for on the final day of AA Nationals?
Oh, I'm intrigued though, with just under 50 seconds left here. before we get back in the action. JT, you've been scouring that stat sheet. Is there anything jumping off the page?
It's just the multiple players, like all 5 starters for St Kitts got on the board there, as Ryan alluded to. It's been a lot of hokianga as she leads the way with 11 and Story Sadler for Parahi 4. So it's kind of been a one wahine show for Tauranga with a chip in here and there, but in St Kitts, obviously, well-rounded. Kailani May leading the way with 6, and the Tua Malu Kaihana, the cousins, with 5 and 4.
Any foul trouble there for Tauranga girls there, JT?
Ruby Jones has 2, so that's hence why she took a seat on the bench. As I see, she's not checking back in.
Yeah, so Ruby Jones has the length to disrupt Kalani May. Ukioso, physical player, but doesn't quite have the length that Ruby Jones does to match up evenly with Kalani May. And St Kitts will get us underway here in the second quarter.
Yes, also obviously unfortunate that Tauranga had been missing Eden Tapsul for the duration of this tournament, as she was injured earlier in zones. As she brings a size and presence to this Tauranga girls team, as we see a Hada forced by...
There's a Parahi, and I believe that's her second foul, so a little bit of foul trouble here early mounting.
Just that left hand there just kind of reach. As we see, there is young Eden Tapsul.
She catches herself on the big screen.
On the big screen.
Yeah, we felt for her. We saw Tauranga when they came into the stadium, had her crutches. She's loving being on the big screen. But yeah, no, when she came in, definitely looking quite forlorn. But love to see the smiles that are back. And both these teams, in the spirit of the game, it's lovely to see these young wahine smiling and enjoying this one.
Both quarter toe tukus made by Tuimailu. 3-point lead for St Kitts.
Just so you're aware, Whānau, our producers, our camera team back stage, they are very good at asking what we want. So when we ask, we kind of receive. So if we say your name, you're probably likely going to show up on screen.
I wish it was like this when I got back home with the fiance.
Oh, Tuimailu, great drive, just left it short as Kalani May scrapping for the ball down low. Forces the jump ball. It'll go to Tauranga, but that will mean St Kitts will receive the ball, either next jump ball or the start of the second half.
If you had any questions about whether it means something to these wahine or not playing for that bronze medal, I tell you what, bodies are hitting the floor. It's on here at Palmy Arena.
Sadler, Kuro Fifi Toru, long off the tapa. Strong defensive tūrapa.
Yeah, both wahine there, both Kalani May and Tuimalu boxing out their respected defenders.
Strong drive. Oh, opportunistic. Up and in. How good, Kalani May.
Great outlet there from Sadler to Teke.
The clap back is quick, Greg Elliott.
In disbelief. It's like a tennis match there, boys. Your eyes are down here and then the eyes are back down there. That was played at pace. I thought Kalani May almost shooting it off her backside and then straight down the other end. Tauranga relentless. This is incredible basketball.
Funny you say that, tennis here. We had the Davis Cup here in the Palmy Arena last weekend.
You guys are spoiled for choice in this thriving metropolis of P-Naughty.
That's why they call it paradise. Parahi, Kuro Fifi Toru. She's got a nice looking jumper. Every time I've been lucky enough to commentate her, she hasn't really caught fire, so we'll see if today's the day.
As kei te tūwhera ngā kēti I roti I tēnei kēmu, so the gates have really opened in this game in terms of the flow of it.
Skip through.
Some beautiful moves on display, boys, but just missing that finishing touch. You got to ice your cake, boys.
Charlie Yock just leaving a little bit short off the tapa.
He did all the mahi there and just couldn't get the treats.
Every time I'm in the streets, I hear yeah.
Parahi, scoop. This crowd are getting into this game just like we are. Turnover. Here comes Parahi. In and out. And the scoop's good. Second time to charm.
Yes.
Tu'umaialu there went for the quick reach, and Parahi says, I teach. And a Waiheke call, gentlemen.
Catch the replay.
I've noticed her ability to take off the wrong foot and finish has been pretty elite this week for young Grayson Parahi. So,
yes, we catch it for the second time. So, what Coach Josh Thompson was referring to, the off foot, that was it. Usually you would go left foot, right hand finish, but right then on the replay we saw Parahi right foot, right hand.
As we see Tauranga now have taken the lead or wrestled the lead away from St. Kitts. So just like you alluded to, the tennis reference, it has been backwards and forwards, which is great to see as we see Alfano getting busted, climbing on the railing there.
Lucky you can't fall off behind it, so nice little sign up there as well as timeout has expired and the teams will enter the court. Shade over 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Good chance here, just while we do have a little break and play, fellas, just to shout out again, whakata Māori, being able to broadcast this to wherever you might be in the Motu and beyond. I know we had a lot of overseas viewers that really appreciated your pronunciation of Abdel Rahman in the last game, Ryan. So, yeah, for everyone that's tuned in, lovely to have you on board on this beautiful morning, this crisp morning here in Palmerston North. Torrential rain on the way. JT, how was your ride in?
Yeah, actually, I think I managed to skip most of the torrential rain. I honestly can say this is the first time I've worn track pants to the stadium. So,
do you own a pair of track pants, Ryan?
Oh, the weather's so good here all the time. I don't need track pants. As we see a zone from Tauranga out of the timeout. The Story Sadler just having a look. Rahi into her cutting.
Great cut there.
It's a dime. Akioso did a little bit strong there.
Glad you can see the number. I couldn't.
I've been fortunate enough to do a couple of Tauranga girls games this week, so I've gotten pretty familiar with their roster.
Yeah, I've seen them make those laps too. Do you think there's a bit of nerves in this one, gentlemen? Early days?
I think they just go like you alluded to there, Mr. Elliott, is that they care. They want to win, and sometimes when you care, you tend to make mistakes you wouldn't normally do, and then usually when you don't care, or I shouldn't say care, maybe when you're not expected to win or expected to be in the game, that's when you play the best because there is no pressure.
You've been on fire this morning, my friend. Just found myself nodding there, listening to you.
Hokianga. Oh, step back.
Step back. James Harden in the building.
Nothing but glass, though.
Nice. We see Tuamalu there with the hustle plate.
Some really impressive defense here by St. Kennedy. Lefty lay. Got bodies flying everywhere.
From our vantage point, gentlemen, I thought they may have came off the knee of Tuenu, but hey, I would never argue with the GJ Gardner folks. They've been doing an amazing job with the whistle all week. I'm not going to start questioning them now.
Good sportsmanship by Hokianga, helping up Kalani May. Forster. Oh, just a little bit too short there on the Korowhiwhi Toru.
It'd be interesting to see what defence Tauranga implement now that Kalani May has taken a break for the St. Kitts team as they were in the zone. As you see, Sadler, great baseline cut there.
Akioso just not finding any luck around the tupper. There's two back-to-back positions on the same kind of cut, just can't get it to go. And we have a hara. This will be on Mishka McLister, number 7 from St. Kendigans.
It's just held there on the screen. No, it just ran through it.
Poor Sadler there. The recipient there of a errant run through. Very NRL-esque.
Rosie Ward in for her first action.
Yeah, McLister will take a seat as she committed her second hara as we see a great cut from Teke.
Parahi, Tornero. There it is, Korowhiwhi Toru.
That looked beautiful the moment it left her hand, the mechanics, everything. What a player, Parahi.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I saw her shoot on the earlier pool rounds, I was like, Okay, she can clearly shoot it. She just couldn't get going, but we've seen back-to-back kura whiwhi turus here.
Doing it at both ends as well, bringing down that tūrapa.
Yeah, it's a big part of the Tauranga girls' offense is when Grayson Parahi grabs the tūrapa on the defensive end and initiates their fast break. It just allows the guards to space out, get up the floor early with her ability to do that.
Tauranga, as we catch the replay of the sharpshooter. Parahi right through, nothing but net.
And that just saw the reintroduction of Kalani Mai Tuinu. As you said, JT, where were St Kitts going to go for some offense? Sputtered it slightly there, and Tuinu brought straight back in to combat that.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long rest for Kalani Mai, as she is now back up there, and look where the ball goes straight away, straight into Kalani Mai. Had a baseline cutter, missed it. Back to Kalani Mai. Oh, bit of dream shake there from Kalani Mai. Faked the left.
I think she shook and then felt the defender, and then went back to the dream.
Yeah.
Wowee.
Instant impact back off the bench. Kalani Mai, it's what St Kitts needed after losing a little bit of momentum.
Finally,
third time's the charm.
Yeah, she's doing a great job at that baseline cut with the penetration.
Yeah, it seems to be all day there, folks. Open cutter.
Kura whiwhi toru long. She just thought about it a little bit too long. And if they're not going to acknowledge her out there, I'd like to see Yok just come off that little rise and just shoot it as Tuia Mailu in the passing lane. And makes no mistake about it. Forces a wahiki from Tauranga girls.
I don't know about you gentlemen, sometimes you get that intercept, you see open pastures ahead of you, sometimes you get in your own head as we see the replay. I'll tell you what, I've missed a few of these. I'm not a great exponent of solid basketball though, but you can get in your head there.
Yeah, I think you can, certainly at high school basketball, but even in all basketball, it happens in the NBA, where you can never assume that they're going to make it, and you need to follow it just in case. Because you've seen it, and then their own teammates will follow it, so then they just get the putback where it's like, hey, if we just hustle down there, we might get the little defensive toot-up, but you never know, because it's an island out there.
Well, that was beautiful, a little Dolly Parton there. Josh Davis there on camera, prize giving for St Kitts.
You're just celebrating their leavers, their year 13 tauira that, you know, will move on to bigger and better things. Well, I don't think it would be better if you're going to St Kitts, is it, lads?
Yeah, rubbing the hands quite profusely there. Josh was trying to get a fire started or something, I'm not too sure. But the fire's been lit here in this girls' third and fourth playoff. Fellas, Tauranga holding on to a slim, slender lead, 3-point advantage.
I've been looking to wrap that prize giving up pretty quickly so they can support their wahine, who are fighting valiantly here.
It's great to see when, it's great to see when these schools have their, not only the men, but also the women. The crowd, you know, the support has been fantastic.
Yeah, so we have some co-ed schools here, and we have some single-sex schools, like I saw Tauranga boys supporting, and they may even be here as I pop my head out. Yeah, I see some of the Tauranga boy stuff. They're not on the same campus, they don't go to school together, they're just in the same city. So great support all around.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think you and I called a game when Mount Maunganui were playing, and it was Tauranga boys on the baseline. It's like, hey, we might be enemies in our region, but hey, when we come down to P-Nori and play at Nationals, we're from the same area, so let's get out there, show some aroha.
Yeah, I'm similar as coach and teacher at Palmy boys. You know, I want 1 or 2 basketball to do well, I want zone 3 basketball to do well.
Is there any way we could wrestle your way to Tamaki Makoto if the opportunity arose?
I can be bought. As Teke gets it tipped out of bounds, it will remain Tauranga girls basketball.
Like you alluded to, gents, you know, the support from other kura, as you saw a couple of nights ago with Te Kurua Te Koutu having Rotorua girls support them in the background. And, you know, it's just the whānau vibe that each rohe have, and And as we see, Story Sadler starting to heat up from the Kuru Whiwhi Toru.
And just like when I take my nephews to bed, it is story time here early in this one.
The puns don't get any less on day 6 here at Fly Palmy Arena. And it was a nice actually little improvisation by Story, just chucking it in and running off as we see the zone and the pull-up. Right back at you to Emailu.
St Kent's doing a good job at being patient in the zone, either not trying to force it into Kalani May as we see Stadler. And letting her opponent, her Kai Pare, know about it too, how she is feeling in this.
Back-to-back Kuru Whiwhi Torus there from Sadler, and momentum swings the way of Tauranga Girls College.
As we see a triple team from Tauranga Girls there.
Jayla Tiki just getting a hand in and then off the knee of Kalani May as we check out the transitional, semi-transition. You go under on a girl that's just hit a Kuru Whiwhi Toru. She said, thank you very much. I'm going to take another.
We saw early in the first quarter as well some foul trouble. Now here, fellas, with 1 minute and 8 seconds left, Tauranga Girls only have 1, St Kent's 2, so doing a great job to keep the hands out of the cookie jar or keep the hands in the air, walling up. Something you've noticed?
As we see the support there for Kaya Kiriyama of Tauranga Girls. The young fella just up the bleachers with his sign. But yeah, very little fouls called, which is allowing this just to flow. Which is kind of what we want, right?
Letting them play on day 6, that's the day.
How impressive is that mullet, fellas, there from that young Tauranga supporter? Oh, there it is again.
They've either got the Ryan Double Dam sort of kinna, or they've got a beautiful moulay here in Pinori. It seems like that's the staple. You go down to the local barber, they say, hey, you've 2 options. Do you want a short back and sides, or do you want a nice business up front, party up back? Yeah, look at that. There it is.
There it is there.
Trying to hide behind that little pillar.
As we see Tauranga Girls are now looking to extend their lead, gents.
St Kent's in their own zone, but that's the person you don't want shooting. They get away with one there as Sadler's strong on the Kuru Whiwhi Toru.
What does St Kent's need to do, fellas, to stop this onslaught?
Well, they've gotten lucky back-to-back there. It's probably get some defensive toot-uppers. 4th time's a charm, possibly here for Tauranga Girls.
It's great experience there from Palmy, just extending, not rushing, but now we have to rush.
Kuru Whiwhi Toru Palace.
3 in a row for Tauranga Girls, and that leads out to 12.
Yeah, and that just stems from those offensive toot-upper that St Kent's can stop, as we see a Kuru Whiwhi Toru from Ashley, as Tauranga will look to get the last shot.
No, Sadler would have thought about that one, but gives it up for a higher percentage look.
As that will end the quarter, as Tauranga Girls will extend their lead to 14. Tino pairau atu ngā wahine no Tauranga Moana ki te kaute whā te kauma ono ki te toru te kauma rua. We'll be right back, whānau.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through really tough time. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place. place, as well as the locals.
We found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to afforest those hills. What we're doing here is using the exotics to help that process get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes. We're trying to do several things here. Soak up carbon, establish native forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
Who is Israel Adesanya? He's the middleweight champion of the world. I go Pete.
Don't want to boast, but we do lead the way in a lot of areas.
When they hit the stage, it's like, wow.
Yeah, that was a bit controversial back in the day.
I'm an addict, but I didn't think it would be this hard.
Kind of a bit funny when people say to me, oh, what are the boys up to? And I'm like, oh, hang on, I'll just get out my phone and have a look.
How do we do something that we think we've lost, but maybe we haven't?
There's always going to be times when I'm tempted.
Natural history all around, you just can't avoid stepping on it.
Just thought it was a man's job.
I would go back to my hotel room and I'd be broken.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden than to be a gardener in a war.
This is the future.
It's hard to explain the feeling walking in the footsteps of your ancestors.
The Matariki season of Paki Pūmika Aotearoa ki Māori Plus.
Nō reira, te iwi, nau mai hoki mai ki te papa oia, ki te whare o Fly Palmy Arena, mō tēnei kemu, mō tēnei whakataitai. Rā mutunga o tēnei whakataitai, poi tukuhu o te kura tuarua o te motu nei, nō reira, nau mai hoki mai ki tēnei kemu, nō tauranga and St. Kentigans, lads, and we are in for a pretty close finish. I think Tauranga obviously got the better in the last 2 to 4 minutes there at the back end, but it hasn't actually been that far of a distance throughout.
Yeah, like it was 26 all at one point, and then we saw a couple of kura-whiwhi turus from Story Sadler. Hokianga gets in the action, and then just unable to find a flow for St. Kitts offensively to stay within the 10-point frame. But we've got 20 minutes to go here in the second half. Greg Elliott, what are you looking for to see St. Kitts get back into this game?
I was pouring over a few bit of stats here with our resident Mātua JT and pointed out Grayson Parahi, 12 point, 12 rebound, double-double in the first half. She has been outstanding. I know you just talked about Story Sadler and Hokianga with that great flurry of kura-whiwhi torus, but Grayson Parahi doing it at both ends, fellas, for Tauranga girls. Super impressive. On the other side of things, JT, St. Kitts, what do they need to get back into this one?
Oh, I just think they need to find Kailani May more often touches, but like Ryan alluded to, just opening it up with a couple more kura-whiwhi torus. They've only hit 1 of 8 in terms of this game, so if Gigi Forster can get going a little more, that will open up the opportunities for Kailani May.
Yeah, there's no secret about it. The more outside shots you can hit, the more you're going to stretch your defenses. We see Tauranga just in that zone, you know, saying, hey, look, if you can't hit those kura-whiwhi turus, we're going to make it difficult for you to get the ball to Kailani May, as Forster has one in and out.
Forster, there was going to be the human zone breaker. That looked good out the hands. We've got a great vantage point up here, fellas. Bird's eye view. Forster unlucky in and out.
Hokianga after give and go. Akioso finishes over a taller Kalani May.
Like you saw last night, St. Kitts were in those positions in terms of they were struggling a little bit, but they did battle back, and that was because of Kailani May. So it'll be interesting to see where it comes from for St. Kitts in this one.
Queen Marlowe just long off the jumper as Cousin gets it back. He stays with St. Kitts.
Torino just down there battling for those boards. JT, how many rebounds or tūrapa is she up to on this one?
Kailani May, one rebound away from her triple-double, so she's 10 points, 9 rebounds.
Triple-double?
Double-double, sorry. Triple-double.
Would be impressive. Sadler, hot hand. Can't carry it over from the first half.
Must be the change in hoops.
Tuimalu.
Nice, tough finish from Jeanette Tuimalu. A little bit off balance there, managed to finish the floater.
That's what I would like to see. I thought Westlake got out in transition against the Tauranga girls a lot yesterday. And if the Tuimalu girls, cousins, can get out and push in a bit of transition, get those easy buckets before the defense set up, as Kalani commands a lot of attention. But it does not matter. She's too big, too strong, too powerful. But right back at you comes Hokianga Teke.
Great defense there from Gigi Forster.
Girls are putting it out. They're all on the floor fighting for the loose ball.
Has anyone ever clocked Palmy over a 100-metre sprint? Because she is quick.
Yeah, like not just quick, just running. She's got the ball in her hand, so she's dribbling the boys. Tuimalu with that hara metetahi.
The hoop and the harm. The hoop and the harm. As we catch the replay, the little up and under. Kind of loses the dribble, step through, and Teki just bows her out. I suppose, Greg Elliott, you only need to be quick over 94 feet in this game.
This is very true. You got speed to burn out there, it looks like, for both of these teams. Oh yeah, Tuimalu.
Tell you who's got some speed, we'll see a little bit later on, is Sahara Katane.
I thought you were going to talk about Zeb. Ato Zeb.
Speed with the te reo.
Oh. Speed with the smells delicious. Mato Zeb, good to have you here. But yeah, Katane this afternoon. What an outburst she had. I know you saw a big parkette there, but 20 points in 10 minutes last night from Katane.
Yeah, that was huge. A little bit of a flamethrower. The Sahara Desert's hotter than the Mojave as she let it go.
There he is. There's my guy.
Hanging out with Greg Elliott. Those puns just keep coming there from you, Ryan.
He's been on fire this morning, JT. As I said, we lost Jackson Fisher to wedding. And as I said, one man's loss is another man's gain, and we have been so happy to have the Prince of Palmy, Ryan Doubledam, here with us, Junior Tall Ferns coach. Great basketball mind. 7-17.
Just like overtime bonus basketball for us, this is bonus commentary for me, so I'm just making the most of it, fellas. As Mick listed us a little strong off the tupper, the rebound goes the way of Teki. Certainly Tauranga looking to push the ball a lot more. Okioso's had 3 shots over the taller Kalani May in a row here, and the lead's up to 15.
Yeah, that one just tantalising, sitting on the tupper before rolling in. Seen a lot of those ones too, that roll out. So for her to get the roll there is impressive.
Vai Okuso, she has contributed steadily in this one. Palmy.
Behind the back, you can see that coming a mile away, and straight back to her and up and in.
We see a Waiheke at some time soon, fellas?
Yeah,
just to stem this?
I think so, just to stem that flow, right, JT?
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing as you mentioned it. But if you're getting looks like that, you kind of like, that's what Darcy wants. She wants to let her girls play through those things. So to see that basket go and that rethinking of the Waiheke would be definitely...
We see a nice high post catch there, and the seal on the backside, and Kalani May obliges and gets her own bucket back. Looking to trim the lead to 14.
I think that's a good plan there from St. Kentsu, getting to that high post, so you take a little bit of pressure off Kalani May in terms of if you're going straight to the low block.
Offensive toot-up, but caught for trouble. One thing I feel like against the zone, if they could replace that high post, leave Kalani May sealing down low, but if they can change their high post, kind of work in triangles and move around, it would make this high post catches a little bit easier. Yeah.
Felt there for Tuimalu, fellas. Just had the chair pulled out from underneath her, and happy feet. Travel call.
Back-to-back stops here for St. Kennekins.
Oh, nice.
Great basketball, that.
Yeah, just probed on the baseline there to Malu, and Yop there with the straight cut as we see Hokianga straight down the lane, unable to finish Tare.
Also, though, again on the tūrapa. She's everywhere, the 14 singlet for Tauranga.
Yeah, as this game goes on, we haven't seen much of Ruby Jones, whose foul trouble has been negated about how much time has gone in this game. But Ukiurso playing so well, earning those minutes.
Yeah, I like to see Jeanette just shoot that Kuruwhiwhi toru there. Probably a little bit more comfortable dribbling in to shoot a short picket, Kuru picket, as we see Kalani May. Grayson Parahi ripping it away.
It's like me with a duvet cover. The rip, incredible strength from Parahi.
Sadler, Ukiurso.
I was going to make a comment on that, but I won't, otherwise I'll get in trouble.
We're all thinking it, JT.
The lady of the moment, Ukiurso, dominating the paint here. Pushes the lead back out to 15.
She's up to double figures, and she has a double-double. 7 offensive tūrapa for Ukiurso, 2 gentlemen.
Parahi. As we see the post defense from Tauranga girls previously, and just some strength shown there by determination by Parahi to rip it off Kalani May.
Would not want to play past the parcel with Parahi. She ripped that to pieces. Great steal.
Oh, a little bit hard off the backboard there from Gigi, but that's what you like to see, a nice redrive from someone else.
Nice effort by Ashley Tuimalu to get back in transition. Kuruwhiwhi toru, that's what you want to see if you're a St. Kentigern's College fan. Gigi Forster, the second of the game, and it's back to 12. Crowd building into it.
Yeah, I believe that's her second Kuruwhiwhi toru, and she can hit that. She's found some open spaces out there too. If St. Kentigern's can find her, I hope she keeps shooting.
She's certainly probably the most competent of the shooters for St. Kentigern's. I've seen her knock down multiple in a game, prior games this tournament, and Ken's doing a good job moving as we get the midi. Short off the tapa. Here comes Hokianga and Parahi.
You just saw Pally there. Take a quick look, just say, yeah, I can see Grayson. I'm just going to slow play it, and Grayson on the same page there in terms of what.
As we catch the replay of the Forster Kuruwhiwhi toru. That's what I guess all good players, but particularly point guards do. They catch that outlet, and the first thing is to do is survey.
Yep.
Who's running where the defenders, where the offensive players, and you kind of have an idea of what's coming next.
Yeah, as we see Coach Darcy Finnegan pondering around, and sorry, Whānau, we just had some technical difficulties, a few little loud moments of Greg probably lifting weights.
Tell you what, my spirits are lifting here. My folks in Ota Muay Thai of the beautiful Tauranga region will be enjoying this one. The Tauranga girls, a great display of poitikohu here.
Trying to go for the high-low look again there with Mick Lister and Kalani May, but Parahi unable to control the errant pass. Stay with St. Kentigern's.
Just if you are a young point guard coming up, Whānau, young wahine point guard, just take a look at what Pally does when she gets the ball. Like, you'll learn a few things just by your eye test and seeing how she probes and her vision.
It's number 4 for the Sky Blue Tauranga girls.
She's so quick to survey the court, like gets the ball and just makes the right decision.
Eyes up basketball. Ukiurso, not that time. Kalani May doing a better job and then saves it off her.
Did you say that was Okuso with a double-double? JT
yes.
as well. Yeah,
yes.
Like some people have a quiet double-double, but her efforts on the offensive tūrapa have been extreme, giving Tauranga girls multiple opportunities here. And when you get more bites of the aporo, you know, it's no surprise that they're up here early in this one.
If we look at the minutes distribution, Ruby Jones only on 2 fouls, and she committed them earlier at 8 minutes, but Vai Ukiurso come off the bench in 20 minutes, 10 boards, 12 points, just really getting into her work effectively.
Sometimes it can be hard to sub back into a game, isn't it, fellas? When the likes of Okuso is playing such a prominent role right now. You got to roll with a hot hand.
No, definitely, for sure. Like, you want to keep the momentum going, and she's done such a great job of bringing the energy. Like Ryan alluded to, 10 rebounds, 7 of those offensive. So she's been super active at creating second, third opportunities for her Tauranga girls team, as the Waiheke, we maybe thought would have come a little bit earlier from Coach Darcy Finnegan, but I think, you know, she did a great job at trusting her girls to get back into the rhythm and then just stop the flow there of Tauranga.
It'll be St Kentigern's ball here after they took their first time out of the second half. Trailing by 14, but plenty of time to go here with 2 minutes 53 seconds left in the third. And what's been an entertaining game and an entertaining start to the day with the couple grand finals to go later this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What everyone's been playing for, a couple banners in the background, all on the line this afternoon.
Yeah, what a magical thing to be able to say, yeah, we were national champions. Just rolls off the tongue so well.
Tuamalu lost their footing there going up, as we see Sadler now with the ball. Just if you don't know, Whānau, Westlake girls going for their 4th championship in a row, taking on Hamilton girls.
Barton, who's just entered the game a little off on a Kurawhiwhi Turu attempt, allowing a break for Tuimalu, who just flips it up and in. Back to 12.
How can they get a stop? That's the question here for St Kitts. Tauranga have been pouring it on early.
Big 2 minutes.
And there we go, there's that stop we just talked about.
If you're St Kentigern's here, you're like, okay, we're down 12. Can we get it to 8? 8 by the quarter break? You happy with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. And when you're down as a coach, you think in your head, if we can just get to this, if we can just get to that, with a certain amount of time on the clock, just to put pressure on the other team also and see who cracks. There's Tuamalu there, unable to finish. As Grayson Parahi picks up her 17th defensive rebound, Whānau.
One man fast
17?
break. One man fast break. One woman fast break.
She went coast to coast on that one.
If you got bigs that can do that, that is an absolute weapon to be able to start the break. Rebound and start the break as Kalani May flips it up and in, the hoop and the arm. Right back at you, and it is a foul on Parahi.
Yeah, that'll be her 3rd foul, her 3rd hudder for Tauranga girls.
I'm still in shock. Sorry, fellas. Parahi, 17 rebounds?
All defensive.
And we see the return of Ruby Jones there, just Coach Patia not wanting Parahi to get a 4th foul in the last minute, 12 seconds here in the 3rd quarter.
Do you think there's any injury niggle or anything with Jones? You know, as you said, she only had the 2 fouls. They were early on, she came out the game, but as you said, yeah, we hadn't seen her since.
Well, I think the bigs, Parahi and Ukioso, just playing so well that, hey, like you were saying, alluding to before, right, the hot hand.
Yeah, St Kitts back into like kind of a man with Kalani May probing in the middle. So putting a bit of pressure. Ruby Jones, as you alluded to, not a 3-point shooter, so Kalani May can kind of probe there in the middle for St Kitts.
Clog it all up as Kalani May, right hand, step through. Oh, just misses the roll. Yock doing a great job keeping it alive. Forster thinking about it. Shot clock winding down. Tuimalu. Oh, again, but 3rd time's the charm.
Tuimalu just needed 2 bites of the apple there. I'll pad my stats a little bit, give myself a 2 up at the same time.
And she goes up to 17 points for the game.
10 seconds to go here. Tauranga girls last shot. Ball screen, backdoor cut. Hokianga. Oh. Half-court heave.
Hey, you guys were right though. 9-point game, 1 quarter to go. They've pulled it right back to within closing distance.
And just a little bit of a momentum wrestled back that St Kitts can roll into the fourth quarter as Greg Elliott tries to snap some commentators' pose up here in the booth.
Hey.
Josh Thompson, thoughts on what's required for St Kitts to keep reducing this deficit?
I think that I don't know my whānau. I just think they just need to. Sorry, we're just having a moment here upstairs in the box. I just think they need to work the ball into Kailani May a little bit more, but they're doing a better job. But like we've alluded to earlier in the game, I think a couple more kuriwhiwhi toros just to free Kailani May up. And just even for the fact that they might just not make them, but just shoot them and take them. We've seen a few opportunities there that they have been wide open.
As we catch the live stats crew who provide us with the extra detail we need during the game. You're right though, because even if they're shooting those kuriwhiwhi toros are not going in, like Kailani May is such a strong rebounder, as well as the Tuimailus, those second chance opportunities can, pave dividends, because it's really hard to get the ball into Kailani May clean if we can't stretch out the defense.
Yeah. Speaking of Tuimailus, 17 points, 9 rebounds.
She has done a great job, as we see on camera. Just found out the name of their little mascot, Bruce. There, just chilling on the chair for St. Kennigan's. Just did a bit of recon with Josh Davis, so I was quite intrigued. Bruce the Bear.
Has the same posture as, Josh Davis. So, not surprised. Big fella.
Ask and you shall receive, whānau. Ask and you shall receive.
That's interesting little... We've got someone here with us in spirit and in a Kodak moment.
Yeah, anyone from Tauranga want to elaborate on who that wahine is strapped to the chair would be much appreciated. Let's see Parahi check back into the game.
Sure, our folks at home or throughout the motu, wherever they might be watching, are definitely strapped into their chair. JT for this one.
Awesome set to start for Tauranga girls as they get the ball through multiple hands, and a nice little float in the lane for Story Sadler as they drop straight back into their zone. And they're working the ball around, looking to try and get the ball to Kailani May. Yok for a kuriwhiwhi toro. Off the tupper. That's what you want. Back to 8 points.
Massive shot there from young Charlie Yook. And that's what we talked about just in that quarter break. Just someone, just the ability to, even if they don't make it, just to take it.
Tell you what, when it rains, it pours. Parahi almost looked like it was going to be off the front of the tupper. Shooter's roll. She's on fire on this one, gentlemen.
Yeah, up to 18 points there for Grayson Parahi. 18 points, 17 rebounds.
Doing a good job moving the ball. Back to back. Kuriwhiwhi toro. St. Kennigan's going to draw out the defense here. The crowd is into it.
Pally just kind of ghosted her way through there. Just so you know, fellas, Pally Hokianga up to 22 points, 8 assists and 5 rebounds.
When they need a bucket, Tauranga just get into Hokianga's hands and some magic will be created. She's either looking to score herself or she's so unselfish, she's probably looking for a teammate more than even to score.
Kailani May in the traffic. Good defense there. Ruby Jones back in, making an impact. And this is what Tauranga is good at. Turning defense into offense, and uncontested layup. It leads straight back out to 11.
Yeah, I like the fact that Coach Darcy didn't pull the trigger on a waheke. They're only down 11. But with the crowd getting into it, you would have thought that she might have caught it early. But, you know, great work at trusting her girls. Maybe after a score, she might think about this one.
I wonder if Tauranga have ever had a shot clock expire. They so quick into their offense.
Story Sadler getting the roll.
Second floater, second right-hand floater of the quarter.
17 seconds on the shot clock as well. When she took that, like, such fast-paced action. Tauranga pushed the pace. And it's so effective, fellas.
And they got the athletes to do it. You know, we talked about Parahi being able to grab that defensive two-upper and start the break herself. There's some long positions here by St. Kitts. Nice drop step by Kalani May.
There's not much Grayson Patahi can do there. She kind of got caught deep in the paint, and you know, as a defender against a bigger player, you've got to do your work early.
Looks like Coach Patia happy for her to just go for the one-on-one as well, not setting a double team. Oh, wow.
The yo-yo from Hokianga.
Yeah, now like nice wee pump fake step ring, super casual. This whānau, the kete has been truly opened in this kemu for this fourth quarter.
Nice passing by St. Kitts. Misses the nice shot though. But there was some move from Hokianga in their last position.
Patahi with rebound, tūrapa number Tacoma Iwa whānau.
Big whakamaru needed here from St. Kitts. Defensive stop.
Jones, high post, Hokianga. Float, midi, strong off the tūrapa. Kalani May fights hard for that.
Yeah, great defensive tūrapa, much needed stop there from St. Kitts. As great extra, massive, that was much needed. If that dropped, that would have stemmed the momentum of Tauranga.
Great look in the corner too from a shooter that's knocked down a couple already. Just unlucky not to go in, fellas. Gigi Forster.
Great back cut there from Hokianga. Just so casual, and I actually have noticed I haven't seen a lot of back cuts with the pressure. People just kind of dancing up and down, and as we see it here, the pressure, and just an easy back cut there from Hokianga.
They're kind of just stepping up in the passing lane there, and Hokianga just sets it up so well. And Wayne Greg Elliott mentioned the pace of play from Tauranga earlier. That position there, they just took their time, kind of lulled the defence to sleep, and finish off with an uncontested 2. Mr. Elliott, what do you got for us?
Usually it's JT that is the stats man, but I've literally just put my big head in front of him and just started to read these myself. Palmy, 28 points, closing on a 30-piece, but as we spoke about earlier, also unselfish, 8 assists, so 28 and 8 with 5 minutes 40 here left to go in this fourth quarter. Palmy having herself a game, gents.
Is she cementing herself a spot in the All-Star 5, or will she have competition with her Grayson Parahi, who's 18 and 19, closing on a 2020 game?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for the selectors, as there's that man again. Always seems to find the camera, doesn't he?
Miles Pearce.
Young Rasmussen there with him.
Amani's older sister Amani in the final in a couple of hours' time.
I believe Amani has not made the final of her high school career. There's very few to do that.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I was Maya Williamson last year, fellas, and got to have a chat to Amani at the end of the tournament. Lovely young lady.
Nice play there by Coach Finnegan out of the timeout. Got a wide open shot for Forster, but unable to convert it. Sadler says, I'm going to have a crack. She's short off the tūrapa. Off the tupper, apologies.
Palmy, actually, that's her 6th rebound, whānau.
Triple double watch?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, 8 assists. 2 assists away and 4 rebounds away. As you see, great defense there from Tuamalu as her cousin takes it to the tupper. No good, but follows it up. Grayson has 20 rebounds now, whānau.
And we see Kalani May's actually off the court at the moment. Some good defense here by Tauranga. Certainly putting the clamps on this quarter. The ball streams out of bounds, a deflection. Stay with Tauranga girls.
Yes, Tauranga leave this quarter 14-8. So, you know, building on their lead. Patahi, 2020, no.
Jones at the board. Hokianga, 30-piece. Book it.
Wow. Yeah, we had a pretty good view of that kuruwhiwhi turu, which did not look like missing.
I'm going to shout out Matua Zeb as well. That was a net to go, nothing but net. The Matua taught me that on Monday. It took me till Friday to remember it, but we're on now, whānau.
Bring it back for next year then?
Oh, I don't know if I'll get the call, boys.
Hokianga, perhaps a defensive board there. We'll see what the statistician gives her.
Hope to see you, Ryan, but also hope to see you in a coaching capacity, but you have been phenomenal on the mic, my friend.
As we catch that 31st point of one Hokianga, and it's pure.
Yeah, Nete Ko.
Sure, everyone back at Tauranga will be celebrating that one. Maybe enjoying a bit of brunch as they take in this phenomenal performance from Tauranga girls.
Pretty sure the sun will be shining in Tauranga as well.
Hopefully one day it will be here too on P-Naughty.
Slowly getting drier outside, boys. Come on, have a break.
The Parahi whānau will also be loving this. What was the stat line there for Grayson at the moment?
18 and 21 for young Grayson Parahi. She just needs one more basket for her 2020. As we see, just the defensive intensity has stepped up for St. Kitts in the last 2-3 minutes, which has caused a few problems for young Hokianga.
A couple of turnovers, JT, but you know, when they're not in their game, she has that ability to just, as we saw in the replay earlier, just make the most of her opportunities.
They've thrown multiple kaipare at Palace. Palace seems to have an answer for everything. Could be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
As it's Parahi's fourth. Kind of a little bit of the fumble caused that offensive foul, as referee Razanowski did call that one. And as what he says, we see Kalani May check back into the game.
16-point game, fellas. St. Kitts are going to have to speed this up a little bit if they want to have enough positions to come back in. And this zone's not going to help, although that was a quick high-low and Kalani May straight back into the action.
It took them a while to figure that one out, though, Coach Diz.
However, Tauranga straight back. Okuso back in the action, just like Kalani May.
Just a basket down one end for St. Kitts, but the pace, the tempo Tauranga play with, like as soon as that ball went through the net for St. Kitts, the ball was pushed by Tauranga and Okuso. Nice finish, and she's been doing that all day, fellas.
Strong clap back by Tauranga off the made bucket.
Yeah, she's had an impressive game. Okuso, 14 points, 10 rebounds, and her double-double has been cemented for this fourth game.
Sadler rejects the ball screen. And a nice cut, timed it well, and unfortunately Ukioso couldn't convert the assist from Sadler. Ticket at a quiet game, not anymore. Kurafifi Turu, and it's a timeout St. Kitts.
And don't the bench love it, turn it up. The sounds of the game, you can hear these young wahine.
Tauranga girls in control as we see Tiki knock it down.
Just another stat for you boys. You know, Tauranga have hit 34 shots, 24 have been assisted. So, you know, they're sharing the ball. Pally has 8, Sadler 7, Teke has 6. So, you know, they haven't just been, even though they've been hitting shots, it's been teammates setting up teammates. So that's impressive to see as well.
High assist to turnover ratio, 24 plays at 11. And you'll probably get another assist once the ticket shot's updated. It'll be 25 to 11.
In like not a very high turnover game, 11 for Tauranga, only 9 for St. Kitts. So great, clean basketball and ball movement from both teams.
I think one difference you see in the St. Kitts stats from yesterday today, only 10 free throws. So Tauranga, Moana, Wahine doing a great job of playing defense without fouling, which was different to yesterday's semi-final when Hamilton girls couldn't play defense without fouling.
2 minutes 33 left in this one, fellas. 84-65. I know the score's kind of blown out a little bit here. We've seen Tauranga really push that pace, but St. Kitts have been in this for the majority of this game. Tauranga just edging away late.
And asking you will receive, whānau, that picture of that young wahine is Arita, who is with the under-16 team in Malaysia.
Oh, her schoolmates will be receiving a bronze, but Arita contributing to a World Cup bid last night as the under-16s qualify for the World Cup next year.
Shout out to Kat Wills for that information. But yeah, no, that was an impressive win by Liam and the girls as we see Kalani May pick up a nice pass, a nice find there.
Oh, these two Umaialu girls, they're built different. They are not quitting. I know a great find to Turnu, but they've played some great basketball. Jeanette Tu'umaialu in particular, 22 and 10.
Bit of energy here in the arena as Coach Darcy's urged them to play just a little bit faster. Forster, Tu'umaialu, Lani May.
Ashley has 9, 4 and 6, gentlemen, so she's been put everything.
Forster a little short there on the kura whiwhi toru. Hokianga just looking to slow things down. They've got a big lead. They just need to draw some clock as Tiki picks it up. Sadler under 10 seconds from the shot clock. Physical defense by Forster, but Sadler shakes her. Kura whiwhi toru. Class above. Story Sadler.
Yeah, really kind of found her groove here in the second half, did Story Sadler. Now up to 19 with that kura whiwhi toru, and just kind of stem the momentum, and I think have just put this one to bed here, gentlemen, with 50 seconds to go as I say that.
Nick Lister, right back at ya.
Yeah, I think that could be all she wrote here in this story.
And Tauranga Moana Wahine call a timeout. I did see some subs at the bench. Perhaps they'll go in, I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to acknowledge their year 13s as this is their last game, and 15-point lead with 47.8 seconds to go. Very difficult to overcome, Mr. Elliott.
Just what I saw before as well, even with this deficit, there was some defense being played there, and Coach Darcy Finnegan, she was into it, she was clapping, she was willing her player on to be the best kaipare that she can be. It was just a tough ask with Sadler, the way she's playing, was able to get by in the kura whiwhi toru, but the defense leading up to that prior, just great to see the coach just still engaged, still willing her wahine on here in this one, gentlemen.
Yeah, no, for sure, as this will be the highest placing for St. Kentigern's at secondary school nationals. So even though they will walk out here with a loss, 4th place in the country, and such a great building block for Coach Darcy, as her team is relatively young as well.
Yeah, she's done a hell of a job in the last 2 years building this program, and bright things to come as the teams re-enter the court. We've got 3 or 4 possessions to go left in this ball game. Tauranga Moana Wahine, their starter still on the court as Hokianga gets the ball in the backcourt.
Just her composure with the ball as a point guard has been very instrumental for this Tauranga girls team. Obviously, Palmy originally from Heretonga, from Hastings, made the move 2-3 years ago.
And a nice touch by Coach Partia. He puts the girls in just so he can sub them out, and hugs all around for this high-achieving Tauranga Moana team in the year 13s. It'll be the last action they see for their school, and leaving Hokianga out there to play the final few seconds as the leader of Tauranga girls.
I got goosebumps.
Another shot for Hokianga.
Why not?
Oh, just long off the tupper, couldn't ice the cake. Here comes Nick Lister, Lani May, no foul called.
Not giving up. Love that they played till the end of the 4th quarter. What a game it has been, fellas. As I've said the majority throughout this week, nothing any different today. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to join yourselves, our camera crew, Basketball New Zealand, Whakata Māori.
Yeah, and obviously this one will be Double Diz's last one for this tournament, as he will take a seat. He will be still in the booth, but he'll take a seat and watch the girls' final, as he is off to see his whānau in Taupo later on this evening. Double Diz, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been fortunate to see 2 compelling games this morning. Myself and Greg Elliott with the 17-18th. That was a nice close ball game, and we've seen a good competition here with high level of skill on display, and we're just fortunate that we're lucky enough to call these games for this talented rangatahi.
Yeah, ka pai. Nō reire, te iwi mihi atu kia koutou I tai mai nei ki te mātakitaki e nei kēmu, te toru me te whā kēmu o Tauranga Girls, te kapa toa I roto I tēnei kēmu, waru te kaumā whitu ki whitu te kaumā rua. My name's Josh, I'm here with Greg and Ryan, and we're signing out, and we'll be back whānau for the double A girls final later, kicking off at 2:15. Nō reira tiwi, tēnei te mihi kia koutou.
Yeah, the boys, yeah, the boys. Double deuce.